Good luck, old chap. Good evening to you from Turfmoor. JB here with Burnley against Everton this evening. But before we even move on to tonight's match, which is going to be our live feature tonight, there's been a major incident at Bournemouth this afternoon involving Tom Lockyer. He during the match, the second half of the game between Bournemouth and Luton, which was at 1-1 at the time, he collapsed on the field and was treated by medics for something up to 20 minutes. All the players had taken their positions back in the changing rooms. They had got off the field. The game had been suspended for a good half an hour, and then after consultation with both teams, the referee decided to abandon the game for the day. What I can tell you is that Tom Lockyer has gone off to hospital. Has gone off to hospital, and he's absolutely going to be okay. He's conscious. He's come round. He's aware of things around him. This is not the first time it's happened to Tom. Of course, it happened in that playoff final last year. So our thoughts at the TC Hub are with Tom Lockyer and his family right now, and with Luton Town at the moment. I think in the normal circumstances, sometimes rivalries and all that sort of thing needs to be put into perspective when a little thing like that happens. And what a nice touch from the Bournemouth fans when the game was suspended and everybody was doing a little bit of a lap of honour at the end. Rob Edwards, the Luton manager, got a nice cheer from the Bournemouth fans, which was good to see. And as I said, we all wish Tom Lockyer all the very best from everyone here at the TC Hub. Okay, let's move on tonight. We're going to do the classified football results in about 2 or 3 minutes time, but first let's concentrate on tonight's football first. And we've got a bit of a grudge match on tonight because we've got Burnley against Everton. Well, it's the Sean Dyche derby in a way. Sean Dyche coming back with it could be with 3 former Burnley players in Dwight McNeil, James Tarkowski and Michael Keane, who starts. Bit of a grudge match as well because Burnley off the pitch, because Burnley are suing Everton for breaking the financial fair play rule, hence relegating the Clarets 2 seasons ago. So there could be a little bit of niggle on and off the pitch tonight. At Turf Ball for us is Paul James. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, JB, and good evening, everybody. This is indeed going to be a huge grudge match today, JB, for sure.
Okay, then. Well, let's give you the team news, Paul. You should have all the teams with you.
Yes, indeed I do. And there is 2 changes for Burnley in the starting 11. Charlie Taylor is injured and Hans Delcroix comes in for him. Johan Berg Gudmundsson also misses out. Jacob Brun Larsen is in for him. The big change for Burnley is actually on the bench. They welcome back Lyle Foster on the bench today. And Connor Roberts can make his 300th appearance if he comes on today. For Everton, they really ring up the changes after their 2-0 victory over Chelsea. Nathan Patterson comes in for Ashley Young. Michael Keane comes in for Jared Branthwaite. Ben Godfrey for Vitaly Mikalenko. And Idrissa Gueye misses out completely. And Amadou Onana comes in for him. Everton also have 3 players on the bench that could make their league debuts today. Elijah Campbell, Mackenzie Hunt and Jensen Metcalf.
And that is how you do it. That is good preparation. Well done, Paul. Just a thought or two, going back to Tom Lockyer, what's your overriding emotions with the Tom Lockyer situation? I mean, it's really bad when a game obviously gets suspended like that. And obviously, we, as I said, we all wish Tom all the best. But I mean, it's really sad. I mean, he puts football. I mean, we were going to build this up and give it the big build up and everything, but considering what's happened today, it just doesn't. It just feels a little bit. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but it just feels a little bit on the somber side. I know he's not gonna. I know he's going to be okay eventually, but when you see a thing like that happen on a football field, or hear about a thing like that happening on a football field, I guess it just puts things into a little bit of perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah, it most definitely does, and obviously, we don't want to speculate on his condition.
Of
So
course.
what I would say is, I would say that I want to wish him all the best, and I wish all the peace and blessings on the Luton players, his family and friends, of course, as foremostly, and I just hope he makes a very, very swift recovery.
And I echo those sentiments entirely. Thank you for the moment, Paul. We'll check in with you about 10 minutes from kickoff. Thanks, Paul. That's Paul James from Turpmore, who's going to take you through the whole 90 minutes of this big, big game that affects the bottom of the Premier League tonight between Burnley and Everton. A Burnley win, actually, in actual fact, could actually reduce the gap between themselves and Everton to 2 points. So there's a lot of incentive for Vincent Kompany's men to really get a result. They have picked up in the last 3 games, as I said. Great big victory over Sheffield United, who have picked up a little bit since Paul Higginbottom was sacked and Chris Wilder come in. And then they got a battling point last Saturday. And again, you might have heard with us on JB Sports against Brighton for the sell of the set with the second half battered Burnley, and they battered them to a pulp. But James Trafford came of age and made save after save after save. No more so than the save from Mitoma right at the end, which preserved Burnley. At the end, I think a point we're in on another day they might not have had. So a 1-1 draw there. Disappointment on the road against Wolves. But having said all that, 4 points out of a possible 9. That's not bad, but it could be better. And it could well start. And this really is a big game in all ways. And if Burnley win this, they're right back in the scrap to stay up. Lose, and you then start to wonder where the next point's going to come from. The next 3. The next 2 definitely are going to be tough games away at Fulham before Christmas, and then you've got Liverpool on Boxing Day, and Liverpool are going so well. Liverpool and Fulham, both teams going so well. I know Fulham have just lost today, but at home they've been magnificent, and you just wonder where the next points are going to come from in those 2 games, especially. And Burnley don't have a very good record, as we know, at Craven Cottage, or haven't, certainly in Premier League football terms. Anyway, we're going to break off the build-up for a bit. I'm going to bring you all the classified football results from all today's games. Here we go. Starting, of course, with the Premier League. Bournemouth against Luton, of course, match abandoned, as you know. Burnley and Everton will be with us very shortly. Chelsea 2, Sheffield United 0. Manchester City 2, Crystal Palace 2. And Newcastle United 3, Fulham 0. And now we go into the Championship in just a second. I'm just waiting to get the Championship scores on. There we go. Bristol City 1, Sunderland 0. Hull City 3, Cardiff City 0. Ipswich 2, Norwich 2. Leeds 1, Coventry 1. Millwall 1, Huddersfield 1. Plymouth 3, Rotherham 2. Preston North End 1, Watford 5. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Southampton 4, Blackburn Rovers 0. And Swansea City 1, Middlesbrough 2. Very good results there in the Championship. Certainly that one earlier on today. Now into Sky Bet League 1. Barnsley 1, Charlton Athletic 1. Bolton Wanderers 1, Bristol Rovers 2. Cambridge 2, Blackpool 1. Carlisle 2, Northampton 2. Cheltenham 1, Leyton Orient 2. Derby County 1, Wycombe Wanderers 1. Fleetwood 0, Peterborough 1. Lincoln City 1, Reading 1. Oxford 3, Burton 0. Port Vale 3, Wigan Athletic 2. Shrewsbury 0, Portsmouth 3. Stevenage 1, Exeter 1. Now we're into Sky Bet League 2. Crawley 1, Mansfield Town 3. Crewe Alexandra 3, Accrington Stanley 3. Doncaster 0, Morecambe 5. Gillingham 0, Bradford City 2. Harrogate 3, Notts County 1. MK Dons 2, Forest Green Rovers 0. Newport 1, Grimsby 1, Salford 0, Wimbledon 0. Stockport County 8, Sutton United 0. Swindon 0, Barrow 3. Walsall 1, Tranmere Rovers 0. And then Wrexham 2, Colchester United 1. And now, excuse the noise, I do apologise. We're now going to the Panorama National League. Aldershot 3, Eastleigh 5. Altrincham 2, AFC Fylde 1. Bournemouth 2, Oxford City 1. Dagenham and Redbridge 0, Wealdstone 2. Dorking 1, Woking 2. Ebbsfleet 1, Barnet 1. Gateshead 0, Halifax Town 2. Hartlepool 0, Chesterfield 1. Maidenhead 1, Kidderminster Harriers 0. Rochdale and York 0-0. Solihull Moors 2, Oldham Athletic 3. And Southend 1, Bromley 2. Now we'll be going up into Scotland and into the Premier League. Well, it's the Barker's Women's Super League, actually. Tottenham 1, Arsenal 0. Just a one game played today. Now we should be going into Scotland. Indeed, we are with the Cinch Premiership. Celtic 0, Hearts 2. Livingston 0, Kilmarnock 0. Ross County 0, Dundee 1. St Johnstone 1, Hibernian 0. And St Mirren 0, Motherwell 0. And now into the Scottish Championship. Ayr 1, Airdrie 0. Dundee United 0, Raith Rovers 1. Dunfermline 1, Partick Thistle 2. Morton 1, Queen's Park 0. And Inverness Kelly Thistle 1, Arbroath 2. And now into the Cinch League 1. That's the Scottish League 1. Cove Rangers 1, Alloa 2. Hamilton Academicals 1. Falkirk 3. Celtic Hearts 0, Montrose 1. Queen of the South 3. Edinburgh City 1. And Stirling Albion 1. And an Athletic 1. And then Cinch League 2. Elgin City 0, the Spartans 4. Fulfar 2, Dumbarton 4. Peterhead 2, Clyde 1. Stenhorstmuir 2, Eastby 1. And Stranraer 3, Bonnyrigg Rose 1. And then it's the Premier Division in Wales. Ballatown against Cardiff. That's an evening kickoff. Carnarvon 0, Haverfordwest 1. Connors Quay 3, Pontypridd 1. And the New Sense 3, Penny Bont 0. And finally, the Danske Bank, or the Sports Direct Premiership, Coleraine 2, Dungan and Smiths 3, Glenavon 0, Linfield 2, Glentoran 1, Newry City 0, and Loughor 1, Cliftonville 4. And a late result, just to bring you, Plymouth did beat Rotherham 3-2. That was actually a late result that we come up there. So that is that. We will bring you the league. We will bring you updated league tables. But just breaking news now, this last minute or two, Luton Town have released a statement regarding Tom Lockyer, and this is what the statement reads. Before we concentrate on the football today, it says, "We all pray for our leader and captain Tom Lockyer, who is now thankfully responsive and has been taken to hospital. We do not know the full extent of what happened and the next steps are at this stage, but we thank Bournemouth and the medical staff on both sides for their immediate response, which was absolutely amazing. We are sorry to all supporters present that players from both sides were in no state of mind to continue with the game after seeing their much-loved teammate and friend taken off like that, and staff cannot carry on managing the game in such circumstances, having had to deal with the situation. We thank everybody for the wonderful applause and singing of Locke's name inside the stadium at such a difficult time. Now is the time for all our players, staff and supporters to come together, as we always do, and give our love and support to Tom and his family. Our thoughts are with him and them all." And thank you very much. So there we are. That's basically that as far as Tom Lockyer is concerned. If we get any more news on Tom, during our program. We'll bring you that straight away with myself, neither myself or Paul James. Paul is ready in the commentary box. We're just a few minutes away from kickoff here on all the TCL platforms, and I'd like to just formally welcome Paul's channel, Focus on Football, to our commentary hubs. Strand of channels, of course, and our strand of channels, of course, includes TC Hub 2 itself, and of course JB Sports, of course. So we're all set to go here this Saturday night. Turf Moor it's freezing. Just to remind you of what happened in the other games, just quickly before we carry on with the. Palmer and Jackson scored for Chelsea in their 2-0 win over Sheffield United. Manchester City 2, Crystal Palace 2. Now, this was a real turn up for the Bucks. Grealish and Lewis have put Manchester City 2 up. And then 2 goals in the last quarter of an hour from Mateta, and then Elise, a late penalty, saving a point for Palace, who were on a bit of a slide at the time. No such problems for Newcastle. Knocked out of Europe in midweek, but beat Fulham. 10-man Fulham, who had Jimenez sent off after 22 minutes, but then the second half blitz. Miley, the substitute, after 57 minutes. Almiron after 64. And then Dan Burn, the centre-back, making it absolutely certain on 82 minutes. And those are the 3 games that did finally get finished this afternoon. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting for the teams to come out. And as soon as we get a glimpse of the teams coming out here at Turf Moor, we will hand over to Paul James, who will take control of the situation. So we're just obviously waiting for the 2 teams. But I have to say, it has been. Usually, I'd have been building this game up with a real buzz and a real boom about it. But considering what happened, it's gone before this afternoon. It doesn't feel right to be sitting here and building it up into a real crescendo when there's somebody like Tom Lockyer who's collapsed on the field and is having to go to hospital. And you see this distressing scenes like we all saw at Bournemouth earlier today. Just pales things into insignificant, but we will try and get on with the football. It's going to be a real concern. We've even got Santa Claus in town this evening. Yes, and Santa. Well, let's hope Santa can bring 3 points for the Clarets. Hold it up the right way. There we go. Yeah, Santa's going to bring us 3 points. Let's hope so for his sake. The teams are now in the tunnel. James Tarkowski, the former Burnley captain, leading out Everton now. I wonder what sort of reception they're going to get. That's for sure. Josh Brownhill, nearer the camera, about to lead Burnley into battle. It's a grudge match to beat all others. Remember the off-the-field stuff that's going on with the financial fair play. But it's the return of Sean Knight, James Tarkowski, Michael Keane and Dwight McNeil to Turf Moor. And to take you through the first half here of this big relegation 6-pointer, it's our match commentator. A big good evening to Paul James.
Good evening, JB. I hope you're well. Good evening, everybody, wherever you're listening from all over the world. And yes, this is a huge match today. The teams are now making their way onto the field of play, and we are just going to go through the 2 teams for you now. And we're going to start with Burnley. Burnley are lining up with James Trafford in goal. Hans Delcroix, Jordan Bayer, Dara O'Shea, Vitinho, and in the midfield, Wilson Odegaard, fresh off his goal against Brighton last week. Josh Brownhill, the captain. It's his birthday on Tuesday. Happy birthday to him. Sander Berg, Jacob Brun-Larsen, and Zeki Abdouni and Jay Rodriguez make up the Clarets lineup. For Everton, they of course have Jordan Pickford in goal, Ben Godfrey, Michael Keane, James Tarkowski, the captain, former Burnley player of course, Nathan Patterson. Dwight McNeil makes his 50th appearance this evening for Everton against his former club. James Garner, Amadou Onana, Jack Harris, Abdoulaye Doucouré and Dominic Calvert-Lewin make up the lineups for Everton as Sean Dyche makes his way on the field to a full round of applause from all 4 corners of the stadium. And well he might, he has earned that right here at Burnley, because to be honest and to be frank, Burnley wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Sean Dyche. He helped turn Burnley into a Premier League team, and what a job he has done. as he takes the plaudits at Turf Moor, making his way to the bench. The substitutes for Burnley is Arianet Mirik, the goalkeeper. Connor Roberts, who if he comes on will make his 300th appearance. Amin Al-Dakil, Nathan Redmond, Josh Cullen, Manuel Benson. Burnley welcome Lyle Foster back from absenteeism. Mike Tresser and Michael Obafemi. For Everton, it's João Virginia. They've got two goalkeepers on the bench, João Virginia and Andy Lonergan. Elijah Campbell, Mackenzie Hunt, Arnaut Danjuma, Jensen Metcalf, Beto, Yusel Chermiti, and Lewis Dobbin. Of course, three on the bench there that can actually make their league debuts for Everton. And our referee today is Anthony Taylor. He's age 45. He's from Wythenshawe in Greater Manchester. He's a Premier League and FIFA official, and he was promoted to the select Group 1 referees at the start of the 2010-2011 season. Taylor became a FIFA listed referee on January the 1st in 2013 and has refereed 2 games involving Everton this season, and both of them resulted in defeats, a 4-0 loss to Villa and a 2-1 home loss to Luton. He's actually awarded more penalties per capita than any other Premier League official. He's actually refereed 19 games in all competitions, shown 85 yellow cards, 4 red cards, and 10 penalties in total. So your players gather at the centre circle now. And of course, the records between these two teams, it goes back such a long way. The two teams have played each other 121 times, 38 victories for Burnley, 53 for Everton, and 30 draws. You can actually go back to 1888 for the first meeting between these two teams on November the 17th at Turf Moor, finished 2-2. And of course, the news event of 1888 was purely dominated by the Whitechapel murders of Jack the Ripper during that time. And as Burnley are about to get the game underway, and there's Vincent Kompany looking very relaxed, Sean Dyche too, as Burnley are about to get the game underway. They'll be attacking the cricket field stand in the first half. Everton in their blue shirts, blue shorts and blue socks. As with just a slight delay here. Actually, they will be attacking the cricket field end, will Everton. They're wearing white shorts and white socks today. Burnley in their claret and blue shorts, claret socks and blue shorts. And they will actually be attacking the Jimmy McIlroy stand, which is the goal to our left. Game is underway now, and it goes all the way back to James Trafford. Trafford launches the ball downfield. Up there is Jay Rodriguez. He just heads the ball on, but James Tarkowski clears the ball. He's looking for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but that is good work by Jordan Bayer, and he flicks the ball forward. It's picked up by Brownhill. Brownhill plays the ball forward, and chasing this one is Wilson Odegaard down that left-hand side, but cutting across there nicely to make that knock that ball out of play is Ben Godfrey, and it's going to be a throw into Burnley with 30 seconds gone, level with the Everton penalty area, and it's going to be taken by Delcroix. Delcroix just gives the ball to Abdouni, and the ball, well, to me that came off the Everton number 2, Nathan Patterson, but it looks like the official down this near side has awarded the throw in to Everton. And there is Sean Dyche, just looking absolutely focused on today's game. He will be desperate for a victory to keep this form going for Everton, which has been so good since the 10-point deduction. In a way, in a certain, as strange as this may sound, that 10-point deduction might have been the best thing that Everton has had, because it's really galvanised the team, galvanised the fans, and all of them focused and pulling in the right direction. It's headed out there by Michael Keane, only as far as Onana. And the ball goes out of play off Onana. It's going to be a throw into Burnley, which will be taken again by Hans Delcroix. Delcroix just throws the ball there to Brun Larsen, and it's now back with Dara O'Shea. Dara O'Shea gives the ball out to Vitinho. Back to O'Shea. O'Shea's got his central defensive partner alongside him there, Jordan Bayer, but instead he goes back to James Trafford. And here's Jordan Bayer now, midway inside his own half of the field. James Trafford, what a performance against Brighton. And there can be no critics for him after that. And now chasing the ball now is Wilson Odegaard. He's got some space down the left-hand side. It's pulled into the middle, but hacked away by Onana. And only as far as the centre of the field and pushed all the way back to the goalkeeper is Jordan Bayer. And it's released again to Dara O'Shea. O'Shea gives the ball to Vitinho down the down the right-hand side. Vitinho pulls the ball there to Jay Rodriguez. He's clattered there, is Rodriguez. And he's just rolling around there. He looks in a bit of pain. Hope he's okay. Just received a rather crunching challenge that time by James Garner. The referee has chose to keep his book in his pocket. Anthony Taylor has been free showing the yellows and red cards this season. And we'll just see how he does today. He's one of the Premier League's most experienced referees. Of course, he's a FIFA official. He officiated the international friendly between Germany and France earlier this year. So the free kick is now standing over this one for Burnley's Josh Brownhill. And also looks like Brun Larson over this one as well. Looks like it might be Brun Larson. It's a high line by Everton. It's swung in and it's just flicked away there by Onana. Just going to allow that to go out of play there is Sanderberg. And it's going to be a throw in to the Clarets. And it's going to be taken again by Delcroix. Delcroix just drops the ball back to Odegaard. Odegaard back to Bayer. Middle of the park here. Bayer just gives the ball to Dara O'Shea. And it's now back with Delcroix down this left-hand side. Delcroix gives the ball back to Bayer. Bayer holds the ball up, but he drops it all the way back to James Trafford. And Trafford there just gives the ball to Bayer again. And Jordan Bayer now gives the ball to Delcroix. Patient build up by the Clarets. Long ball by Delcroix looking for Abdouni. Out comes Jordan Pickford though to cancel out that attack by Burnley. Super long throw by Pickford over to Dwight McNeil. Now McNeil drops the ball back and all the way back again to Pickford, who attempts to drill the ball downfield again. It's knocked on by McNeil, and the ball goes out of play for a throw into Everton. And Dwight McNeil, on his 50th appearance for the club, will take this throw in. And there is Sean Dyche, blue tie on. It's actually the first time that Sean Dyche has been in the visitors' dugout as a manager since actually his first game as a manager with Watford. So that's how long ago it's been. It's now back with Brun Larson, and it's picked up by Brownhill. And Brownhill, well, Jay Rodriguez has gone down. The referee has just stopped play here and awarded a free kick. Just take a look at this again. Yes, Doucouré just went into the back of him, and the free kick is taken quickly, and it's long. And chasing this one down now is Brun Larson. Brun Larson, he's got space here in time. Oh, it's a disappointing cross. It was a comfortable block by Tarkowski, and it goes out of play. We got a comment in the comment section. Good evening, JB and Paul. Just tuned in. Hope all is well. Good luck today. Thanks, Russ. And we have a corner now to Burnley. The first corner of the game going to the Clarets. And to take this corner, it looks like, I'm just trying to make out who it is on the far side there. I think it's Brun Larson that's going to take this one. Jacob Brun Larson. And he's possibly going to do he plays it short. And it's now with Delcroix. Delcroix back to Sanderberg. Delcroix gives it to Vitinho. Vitinho, nice ball on the far side to Brun Larson, left-hand side. Let's see what Brun Larson can do with it here. And Brun Larson just cuts inside, gets a shot away. It's blocked. It comes back to Vitinho. Vitinho gives the ball there to Delcroix. Back to Brun Larson again. He's got Brownhill overlapping. Brownhill tries to backheel, but it only goes as far as Dwight McNeil. And Dwight McNeil plays the ball forward, but there is nobody there. And James Trafford is out to meet that ball. And Dwight McNeil, the former Burnley player, and he may well be a threat to the Clarets today. Delcroix just drops it back to Jordan Bayer. Delcroix back to Bayer. Just Sunshine is asking, where are you from? I'm actually from England, currently living in Canada. And here is Jordan Beyer. Beyer down this near side to Delcroix. Delcroix to Odegaard. Odegaard just drops the ball back to Delcroix and gives the ball to Jordan Beyer. Beyer holds the ball up and he goes across the line there looking for Dara O'Shea. Dara O'Shea gives it back to James Trafford as patient build up here by the Clarets. And here is Jordan Beyer, the German under-21 international, gives it to Delcroix. Delcroix lifts the ball forward. He's looking for Wilson Odegaard. And just for a second there, Jordan Pickford hesitated, but he had enough time then to just collect the ball as they were looking for Wilson Odegaard, who really has impressed for Burnley. Super goal last week against Brighton at the Amex. And here's James Tarkowski. Plays the ball across to Keane. Keane looking for Ben Godfrey. Instead, he chose to find Nathan Patterson. Patterson plays the ball forward. Chasing this one is Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but chasing back there is Jordan Beyer and covers up there, gives the ball back to Trafford. Trafford has the ball again and he plays it out on the far side to Vitinho, right-hand side. Vitinho just gets away from the Everton forward there. The ball is played out again by James Trafford to Delcroix. Delcroix under pressure there by Jack Harris. And the ball goes back to Jordan Beyer. So steady start by both teams. Has to be said that Burnley has perhaps been the most adventurous at the moment, in certainly pressing more than Everton in this first half. As Brownhill just knocks the ball on there to Abdouni, but he's dispossessed. That is good work by Ben Godfrey. And it now comes out to Dwight McNeil. Dwight McNeil, left-hand side. Can he get the cross in, McNeil? He does. And up there is Calvert-Lewin. It's headed out by Delcroix. Only as far as Patterson to Onana. And it's now down this near side to Jack Harris. Harris gets a cross in. And there's a header on the back post. And it's just wide from Dwight McNeil. Oh, that's the first chance of the game. And it was a free header for the former Claret. And Dwight McNeil, well, you would expect him to do better, frankly, because there was nobody really that close to him. But he directs it wide of James Trafford's goal, who was really left rooted to the spot. And that's the closest we've had so far. And with almost 10 minutes gone here, it's Burnley 0, Everton 0, but a close call that time by Dwight McNeil. And it's cleared out by James Trafford. And the ball again finds McNeil. And McNeil, it's long, looking for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. That is good work by Jordan Beyer. Calvert-Lewin, is determined to be offside anyway, and it's going to be a free kick to Burnley as that is taken very quickly, looking for Wilson Odegaard down this left-hand side. Good challenge that time by Patterson as Patterson comes forward now for Everton, and he pulls the ball back to Abdullah Doucouré. Doucouré just drops the ball back to James Tarkowski, the captain today for Everton against his former team, and it's Ben Godfrey. Godfrey dropped back to Michael Keane. Michael Keane across to James Tarkowski. Tarkowski launches the ball forward up to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and Jordan Beyer just wins that header, and it goes back to Delcroix, and Delcroix was a bit slow in dealing with it, and that has to be said. That's not the best defending by Delcroix, and certainly there seemed to be a communication issue between him and James Trafford. But the ball is out of play. They've actually played it really off Jack Harris, and it's a throw-in for Burnley anyway. And it's going to be taken by Hans Delcroix. Delcroix just looking for options available. There is not many empty seats for a TV game. This is a pretty full house here today. Everybody wanting to see Sean Dyche again and wish him their best. And the ball is cleared forward there by Jacob Brun-Larsen, but it goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw into Everton. So interesting start by the Clarets. They certainly pressed more early on, but the best chance so far falling to Everton with Dwight McNeil's header, which went just wide. And the throw in midway inside the Burnley half of the field. And it's going to be, Dwight McNeil is going to go over and take the throw. He's replacing the ball. He's not happy with the ball, so he's just replaced the ball there as Dwight McNeil. And he just gives the ball there to Doucouré and gets it back off Doucouré. And Jacob Brun-Larsen just gets the touch on that to knock it out of play. Once again, it's going to be another Everton throw-in. And Dwight McNeil is going to take this again. Got another comment in the comment section, which I'll read in just a moment. Here's Dwight McNeil. He plays the ball across here to Godfrey. It's now with Michael Keane. Back to Godfrey. Ben Godfrey down this side to Patterson. Patterson launches the ball in the penalty area. Dominic Calvert-Lewin gets up and just going down there under pressure there was Jack Harris. And now Burnley can come away. And it's Jacob Brun-Larsen surrounded by two Everton players. Onana gets a foot in there. And now Dara O'Shea just trying to get back and cover that. He does that very well. And here's Onana again, who heads the ball on, looking for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I don't have a Telegram page, Sonny. I'm sorry. The ball is cleared downfield, and it's picked up by Wilson Odegaard, but Odegaard is dispossessed by Onana. Onana just looking for the run of Harris. Harris gets in the penalty area, and he's surrounded by two Burnley players, and that's a good challenge that time by Wilson Odegaard, showing his defensive skills as well. But it does go behind for a corner to Everton. And Everton bringing up the big guns. Onana, Doucouré, Tarkowski, Keane, Calvert-Lewin are all in there. So Burnley are going to have to watch very carefully this corner. And it's going to be taken by Dwight McNeil. No surprise. Burnley fans have seen him take many corners for the Clarets. He swings it in. Trafford goes up for it and palms it behind for another corner. It was a difficult one for Trafford to deal with. He does well there just to knock that behind for the corner and swiping at that. It's another corner, this time from the opposite side. And Tarkowski is just organising the front line here, as I suspect they will surround James Trafford and make it as difficult as possible for him. Corner to be taken, and it's swung in this time. And it's headed on up into the air, and he's palmed out by James Trafford. It was headed in the air there by James Tarkowski. It seemed to be looping over the Burnley goalkeeper, but James Trafford just gets a hand on it and somehow keeps that out under pressure by about four Everton players. I'm actually surprised. In fact, I do think Anthony Taylor did blow up for the foul on James Trafford because they were leaning into him. Certainly Ben Godfrey was. It's cleared now downfield by James Trafford. It's won by James Tarkowski, who just brings it back to the goalkeeper, the England international Jordan Pickford. He plays the ball forward. Just chasing that one down is James Garner. The ball goes out of play off James Garner. It's going to be a throw-in. And James Trafford can expect to be bullied tonight by these really big Everton forwards. And this is very much Sean Dyche football. He uses a physical aspect of the game to gain victories here. So you never expect an easy game against a Sean Dyche team. The ball is played forward looking for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but coming out well to make the challenge is James Trafford. That was a very decisive bit of goalkeeping. He did very well there, just getting ahead of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. It's going to be a throw into Everton, almost level with the Burnley penalty area. And he just gave the ball to Onana. And it's now back with Patterson, who plays the ball forward. And just turning away there is Jack Harrison, or trying to. And the ball comes down this near side again to Patterson, but he's not able to keep that ball in play. And it goes behind for a goal kick. 16 minutes gone at Turf Moor here. It's Burnley 0, Everton 0. You are listening to alternative commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's player of the match sponsor is sponsored by Commentary Services, the brilliant Commentary Services. And Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports, Focus on Football, and Storm FM. And don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1, and you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Commentary Hub. It's back with James Trafford now as he clears the ball forward. Finds Michael Keane, who heads the ball down nicely, who found Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin was in an offside position, and Burnley will get the free kick. He was just not able to get himself back onside. the big Everton forward. James Trafford just lays it off to Brownhill as Burnley just playing around with the ball on the edge of their own penalty area, and they've given the ball away now. And Decore there, well, he was looking for Calvert-Lewin, but that was a chance for Everton to really do something with that. Here's Brun Larsen, and just coming across there is Bayer. He gives it to Delcroix. Delcroix gives the ball to Odegaard. He's going to be dispossessed here now. And Jack Harris plays the ball forward to Patterson. Patterson's got some space to swing it in. It's Calvert-Lewin! What a super save by James Trafford! Oh my goodness me! That was a fantastic save! He got down to his left-hand side and put it behind for a corner. But that really was a super save by the England under-21 international. And he really showed all of his skill there. The cross came in from Patterson. Free header for Calvert-Lewin. Bayer and O'Shea were not close enough. But what a super save by James Trafford. He bailed his defence out there now, and it's a corner to Everton, which Dwight McNeil will take. Well, again, another confidence booster for James Trafford. What a save. And Dwight McNeil has two of the best chances coming to Everton so far in this game. And it's a corner by Dwight McNeil now. And Dwight McNeil swings it up. The heads go up, and it's in there! It's a goal, and I believe it is Amadou Onana with the header. And Everton take the 1-goal lead. And it's Amadou Onana on 18 minutes. And it's been coming, it has to be said. The chances were there. Burnley's defence, not really much James Trafford could do with that, I don't think. We'll look at that again as Sean Dyche applauds that. But you see the cross. The cross was a wonderful one, actually, from Dwight McNeil. Amadou Onana goes in. Now, Trafford did come for that. You have to argue, usually, that if the goalkeeper does come for it, he's got to get it. And he didn't. But I think, really, his defence had let him down as well here. Onana got away from Brownhill way too easily. And it was a free header. And Amadou Onana, I'm not sure if James Trafford would have saved that, even if he didn't come for it. So a sloppy defending, really, by the Clarets there cost them once again. And Everton lead by 1-0. And now the game is back underway. And it is 1-0 to the Toffees at Turf Moor here. Not the start the Clarets would have wanted, as it goes back to James Trafford. Russ says poor defensive play from Burnley. Definitely agree with you on that, Russ. Really wasn't the best at all. And here's Delcroix. He gives the ball back here to Jordan Bayer, as Everton have taken the lead with 19 minutes gone here at Turf Moor. Bad news for Burnley. It should be noted as well that any team with only 8 points after 16 games has never survived relegation. There's been 7 others, and they all went down. So this is not good reading for Burnley right now. But coming forward is Zeki Abdouni. But that's a fine challenge, and now Everton can move away. But coming across there is Sanderberg to just get in the way of Dwight McNeil. Good work by Sanderberg that time. It goes back to James Trafford, who clears the ball downfield, and knocked down there by Dwight McNeil to Sanderberg. Here now is Jacob Brun Larsen. Brun Larsen just running at that Everton defence. He pulls the ball back there. The cross comes in. Abdouni touches it back, and it's a shot by Brun Larsen, but it's blocked and then headed out by Patterson. And it's forward to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who goes down under the challenge, but play continues. Delcroix gives it to Brownhill. Brownhill gives the ball to Dara O'Shea. It's a long ball by O'Shea, headed on by Godfrey, almost by the corner flag. It goes out of play. It's going to be a throw into Burnley. Wilson Odegaard has got a hold of the ball, but I don't think he's actually going to take it. And it's about 2 or 3 yards away from the corner flag. And it's going to be taken by Hans Delcroix, who's been taking all the throw-ins down this left-hand side. Delcroix just is able to find Zeki Abdouni. Abdouni just drops the ball back there to Jordan Bayer, and Bayer just gives the ball to Wilson Odegaard. Well, he's got Patterson in front of him as Odegaard. He gives the ball there to Brownhill. Brownhill And back to Berg, gives it back to Brownhill. And now in the centre of the park, it is Bayer, and he gives the ball to Delcroix, back to Odegaard, flicked on from Zakuni, back to Odegaard. Odegaard played into Rodriguez. Can he turn and shoot? But it's blocked by Keane and cleared away. So Michael Keane, another former Burnley player, clears that one away. And the ball is now with Sander Berg. Sander Berg gives it to Brun Larsen, just off Jay Rodriguez, and Brun Larsen plays the ball into the box. It's almost cleared away and headed away by Decore, and back into the penalty area, and cleared again away by Michael Keane. And now, Dwight McNeil attempted to play the ball forward, but that was actually a good block that time by Sander Berg, and it's going to be a throw into Everton. But just quick play there. Zeki Abdouni just flicked the ball to Wilson Odegaard. Odegaard tried to play in Rodriguez. Rodriguez turned, but the shot was blocked very, very well there by Tarkowski. And it's going to be a throw-in on this side. And but it's given away, and now Dwight McNeil coming away for Everton. He's got a lot of space in front of him. Dwight McNeil attempts a shot, but it's over the crossbar. And he was allowed to run there completely unmolested from inside his own half of the field up to about 30 yards in goal. Burnley were not getting close enough there. It was a disappointing effort in the end by Dwight McNeil, but again, Burnley were standing off Everton far too much there. And here's Hans Delcroix. Delcroix just plays the ball back to Jordan Bayer. Bayer goes back to James Trafford. And Trafford gives the ball back to Bayer. And James Trafford now will clear the ball downfield. He's looking for Wilson Odegaard again. But clearing up at the back here is Patterson. But Odegaard wins it, gives it to Abdouni. Abdouni, long cross in the middle, looking for Brun Larsen. But it's headed out there by James Tarkowski. And now Everton can come away. And that's Garner. And Garner holds it. Garner goes down, and the referee has given a free kick to Everton. And with 24 minutes gone, you are listening to alternative commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's player of the match is sponsored by Commentary Services. Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports and Storm FM. Don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1, and you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Commentary Hub, as there is Vincent Kompany. He doesn't look particularly pleased. The free kick is taken quickly. It's flicked on, and here's a chance now for Michael Keane. Great save by Trafford. Comes back to Keane. It's 2-0. And once again, Burnley's defending once again is called into question. It's 2-0, and it's Michael Keane. And it's 25 minutes gone, and it's going from bad to worse for the Clarets. And, again, the defending really leaves much to be desired. And Michael Keane takes advantage. It started from the free kick. It was a long ball. And again, this is Route 1 style defending for Burnley. The free kick was taken by Jordan Pickford. It was a high line, far too high in my opinion. It was flicked on there, and there was a little bit of unfortunateness in it. It was flicked on by James Tarkowski. Michael Keane gets a shot away. It was a great save. It then bounced off Dara O'Shea, but it bounced very kindly to Michael Keane, who put the ball in the net. And poor defending again there from Burnley, who was picking up Michael Keane, says Ross Vernon. Agreed. To be honest with you, it's once again, it's very, very poor defending, but perhaps a little bit of luck associated with that goal, though, with the ball bouncing off Dara O'Shea. But in the long run, Russ is right. Who was picking up Michael Keane? Nobody. And it all came from that long free kick and flick on from James Tarkowski. And Burnley find themselves 2 goals in the hole, but the ball is played forward now, and Jacob Brun-Larsen is coming to try to win that, but James Tarkowski comes up and clears that ball away. It does bounce to Onana. Onana is bundled over by Jay Rodriguez. Here's Wilson Odegaard. Can he bring some joy for the Clarets? Odegaard gets the cross in. It's blocked by Nathan Patterson, and it's going to be a throw-in. It's going to be a corner to Burnley. And with 27 minutes gone here, it is Burnley 0, Everton 2. And Burnley, well, it's second corner of the game. And it's going to be taken probably down this near side. But yes, Jacob Brun-Larsen is taking it down this left-hand side. He swings the ball in. The heads go up. It's bouncing around. And here's a chance. Oh, it was Zeki Abdouni coming close there, but it was blocked. Comes back to Brun-Larsen again. Can he get the cross in? Oh, that's a poor cross. Far too much on that cross. It'll go all the way out to play for a throw-in on the far side for Everton. And it is Burnley 0, Everton 2. And, well, I'm not sure exactly what Vincent Kompany can make of this. And Dyche is showing Alan Pacey was wrong to sack him, says Russ Vernon. Well, that debate will continue to rage on, Russ. The ball is played forward and up into the air and cleared away by Godfrey. It's just one in the midfield there by Jack Harris, but nipping in there was Wilson Odegaard. Great play by him. Here's Odegaard again now. He gets to the edge of the penalty area. Can he get the shot in? And he tries to play the ball to Zeki Abdouni, but it's cleared away by Onana. And here's Brownhill. And it's Sanderberg plays the ball across onto the far side to Vitinho. Vitinho finds Brun-Larsen. Brun-Larsen gets across him, but it's a disappointing one. Only finds James Tarkowski, and Vitinho then bundles over Dwight McNeil, and it's going to be a free kick to Everton inside their own penalty area. And we are on 29 minutes here. Burnley 0, Everton 2. And, well, if you've got any comments on, if we've got any Everton fans, Burnley fans in the comment section, if you want to comment your thoughts, I will be happy to read them out to you. Just please keep it nice and clean. We are listed as a family show. And Jordan Pickford is going to take this free kick. Left-footed downfield. And up in the air there goes Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but he misses it, and it goes all the way through to James Trafford, who just drops the ball to Jordan Beyer. And Beyer gives it to Dara O'Shea, the unlucky recipient of that deflection that fell to Michael Keane. Here's Beyer again. Beyer plays the ball long, and it's way too far ahead of Jay Rodriguez and goes straight through to the goalkeeper. As Jordan Pickford. Well, I remember that Boxing Day when Burnley lost to Everton 5-0 here, and it changed the entire season, the entire complex of the season. When they turned their season around and stayed up that year. Right now, I don't know whether we're going to be seeing another 5-0 today, but at the moment, Burnley do not look very solid defensively at all. They look like they're a bit out of ideas offensively as well. And it's back with James Trafford now. Trafford gives the ball to Jordan Beyer. Beyer. He's got a few options inside his own half here, but he's decided to go back to James Trafford. And Trafford gives the ball to Jordan Beyer. Beyer to Delcroix. Delcroix just drops the ball back again to Beyer. Options available for Jordan Beyer, but he's taking his time right now, and he seems comfortable just to knock the ball back and forward between him and Trafford. James Trafford there. And again, James Trafford's ball back to Beyer, has him chasing that one, but coming across his hands, Delcroix. And this is not helping Burnley's situation right now. Just they're playing themselves into trouble here. And Delcroix gives it back to Jordan Beyer, and finally Beyer puts his foot through it. It's headed on by Jay Rodriguez, but picked up by Dwight McNeil. Dwight McNeil across to Harris on the left-hand side that time. Gives it back to Dwight McNeil. And McNeil back to Keane. Keane goes all the way back to Jordan Pickford, who launches the ball long downfield. Finds Dara O'Shea, who heads it back to James Trafford. James Trafford releases the ball to Dara O'Shea. And here is Hans Delcroix. Delcroix drops the ball back to Jordan Beyer. Bayer just looking for the options available. Instead, he just drops it back to Delcroix. And again, Burnley just lacking some real penetration in this first half. And it goes back to Jordan Bayer as they're playing the ball, playing around with the ball on the edge of their own penalty area. And they're going to get themselves into trouble here. And it's been given away to Delcroix. Been given away to Decore. And once again, Burnley play themselves into trouble. And Dara O'Shea then has to foul Jordan. Then has to foul. And this is poor play from Burnley. They're playing themselves into trouble every time. They're the architect of their own downfall. And it's a free kick now. And there's Vincent Kompany just having to think about what's going on there. He must be thinking about some substitutions, perhaps at half time. And standing over this one now is James Garner. It's about 40 yards from goal, just at a guess. It's a high line by Burnley. I think he's just going to lift this over the high line. Indeed, he does. And going up there with the challenge, with the header there is Sander Berg. And over down this near side now is that's James Tarkowski as the ball goes out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in for Burnley. Well, as we approach the 33rd minute mark, Turf Moor, it's Burnley 0, Everton 2. And Burnley, well, they'll look at this and they can't take a great deal of positives, I don't think, from this first half. The first few minutes when they pressed, there was definitely something there, but they haven't really created much. This Everton defence has really shut anything Burnley have had down quite impressively. Vitinho plays the ball forward, looking for Jacob Brun-Larsen. Onana just gets across there and gets in the way of that. And finally, Sander Berg just knocks that ball out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in for Everton just inside their own half of the field. Dwight McNeil gives it to Onana. And McNeil just takes it towards his own goal. And just gives the ball there back to McNeil. And McNeil tries to play the ball forward now. And it's Garner. Garner tries to play the ball through there. And it's just off the corner flag and goes out for a throw-in as James Garner was chasing that one down. And we're going to have a throw-in for Burnley. And there is Sean Dyche. He's got to be very, very happy with what he's seen so far from his Everton team as this impressive run of form continues for Sean Dyche at the moment. It's headed out by Bayer, but only as far as Michael Keane. Michael Keane goes back to Jordan Pickford. Jordan Pickford plays the ball long downfield. He's looking for Nathan Patterson. The head is on. And it goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for Burnley, and Hans Delcroix will take it. Delcroix just looking for who he can find in this situation, and he's taking his time. Considering Burnley are 2-0 down, they're not in any immediate hurry, it seems, and it's launched into the air by Josh Brownhill, I should say, and just headed on there, and it's a free kick to Everton for another tackle there, this time by Josh Brownhill. And it's Onana that is down there clutching his ankle. The free kick is almost on the halfway line, or at least that's where it should be taken, just inside the Burnley half of the field. As Onana is now back on his feet, Amadou Onana, and the free kick is going to be taken by Jordan Pickford, as once again Burnley operating with a very, very high line. And Pickford is going to launch the ball forward. And up with the header there is James Tarkowski, and plucked out of the air by James Trafford. As once again, really there, Burnley's defence did not pick up James Tarkowski. And here's Jordan Bayer. And Bayer coming forward. Impressive run by Bayer. He plays the ball across to Jay Rodriguez, who fails to control the ball, and he has it nicked off him there by Jack Harris and headed on there by Brownhill. And the ball comes back to Dara O'Shea, to Hans Delcroix. Delcroix just down this near side to Wilson Odobart. Odegaard tries to, he's going to be dispossessed there by Garner. And here's now Decore. Decore, good challenge that time by Delcroix, but the ball goes over on the far side to Harris. Harris under pressure there, and Odegaard is down at the moment. And the referee has stopped play. He's calling the physio staff on. Just having a look. Oh, yes, he's caught in the face there by James Garner, and it's a head injury, and the referee, Anthony Taylor, rightly stops the game in that scenario because you can't afford to take any chances with these situations. Obviously, we hope Odegaard is okay. Sanderberg just going over for instructions to Vincent Kompany. And there is the Burnley Football Club owner, Alan Pace. Well, I just wonder what he's thinking at the moment. I can't imagine him being very impressed with this performance in the first half. But we'll see exactly what goes on. Here now, Sean Dyche there. I just wonder whether he's thinking about that decision to let Sean Dyche go. Sean Dyche and Ian Wone. The stoppage in play now while Odegaard is receiving treatment. Vincent Kompany is now just talking to his Burnley team, trying to just get a bit of a timeout here going, trying to get his players to back into a headspace where they can create something. And you can see he's got pretty much the entire team there talking to them. And obviously, Wilson Odegaard is still down. We're just waiting. Can't see on the pictures really at the moment. They usually do this now when there's what might be considered something serious. They generally remove the pictures away from what's happened, especially since what happened with Christian Eriksen. So we're just waiting to see whether the game is going to get back underway. Sean Dyche sending some instructions out to his team, to James Tarkowski. And he's just asking his players to calm down. Dwight McNeil the game is back underway now. Wilson Odegaard is back up, and that's good news. And across now, here is Hans Delcroix, just clears the ball away, not far enough really. It's won back by Patterson. Patterson gives the ball there to Ben Godfrey, to Onana, to Harris, to Dwight McNeil, and back with McNeil. And it's now with Decore. Decore just drops the ball back there to Michael Keane. That's a good ball by Michael Keane to Patterson. Super ball. Patterson now just pulls away and he gets the cross in, and it's headed out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in to Everton, and it's going to be taken by Nathan Patterson, as Odegaard seems to be moving very, very freely now. And it comes back to Godfrey. Godfrey gives the ball to Michael Keane, across to James Tarkowski. Back to Godfrey, and Godfrey just manages to find Nathan Patterson. He just keeps the ball in play, but he gives the ball away, and it's picked up there by Josh Brownhill, who drops it back to Bayer. He gives it to O'Shea, and he drops it back to James Trafford. Trafford just plays the ball to Brownhill. Brownhill back to Delcroix. That's Burnley once again playing, well, Russian roulette really on the edge of the penalty area. It gives the ball back to James Trafford, and Trafford launches the ball downfield. It's won by James Tarkowski. Vitinho just with Dwight McNeil over there. Dwight McNeil comes out the better of that battle, but takes the ball in the face. And it goes out of play as Dwight McNeil just shaking off the ball in the face there. He looks okay. And with 5 minutes to go till half time, it's Burnley 0, Everton 2. Because of the stoppage for Wilson Odegaard, I suspect there'll probably be about 4 or 5 minutes. Aside from that, there really hasn't been any other major stoppages in the first half. And here's Ben Godfrey. Plays the ball across to James Tarkowski. Tarkowski to Michael Keane. Michael Keane, good ball down this right-hand side to Nathan Patterson. Patterson just looking to turn away from Delcroix. Instead, he goes back to Ben Godfrey. Decore. Godfrey, midway inside his own half of the field. Now he plays the ball long down the right-hand side. Dominic Calvert-Lewin can't get there, and it's headed away by Bayer. And here's Brownhill. But nipping in there to win that ball is Jack Harris. Good ball there by Onana. Out on the far side to Dwight McNeil. Coming across is Vitinho. Just to shoulder McNeil out the way. Good defending there by the Brazilian. But Everton win the ball back with Jack Harris. Jack Harris's ball is a disappointing one from his perspective. Lands right at the feet of Sander Berg and it's cleared away. And out of play for a throw-in. And just down there right now, I'm not quite see who that is. It is Amadou Onana, who is down there right now, and he's just getting himself to his feet. Seems okay. And the throw-in is going to be taken by Everton. And it's with Jack Harris, and the ball goes out of play for a throw-in to Burnley. And it's level with the Burnley penalty area. It's going to be Vitinho that takes it. He is going to go for the long throw, I suspect. Indeed he is. Up goes James Tarkowski, and the ball goes out of play for a throw-in to Burnley once again, and it's going to be taken by Vitinho one more time. Vitinho, he's just looking for options available. He's still on a good 5 or 6 yards there. Long ball, which is played forward, and Dwight McNeil plays the ball on, and it's looking for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Good defending that time by Dara O'Shea. Everton still have the ball with Jack Harris. Jack Harris gives the ball to Dwight McNeil. He tries to play the ball back to Harris. Good work by Sander Berg, just getting in the way of that pass. And Jacob Brun-Larsen tries to turn, but he's adjudged to have been fouled. And it's going to be a free kick to Burnley. And, well, the situation right now is that Burnley are going to go in at half-time. And to be honest, it does not look very good at the moment for Burnley. I think there's a lack of creativity there. I think they're giving the ball away too much around the edge of the penalty area. James Trafford plays the ball forward. It's to Zeki Abdouni. Abdouni's first touch is not the best, but he shields the ball and maintains possession. Zeki Abdouni plays the ball back there to Dara O'Shea. O'Shea back to Trafford. It's cleared downfield. And Jay Rodriguez heads the ball on, but Zeki Abdouni picks up the ball here just inside his own half. He's got Wilson Odegaard alongside and gives him to Delquar instead. Delquar just trying to get the better of Patterson, but he's not successful. And Odegaard now just trying to get away from Patterson. He's not able to stay on his feet, and it's going to be a free kick. And, well, I don't know if Anthony Taylor is going to take any further action against Patterson. It was a late challenge on Wilson Odegaard, but it doesn't appear so. No yellow card this time. It was a very late challenge. It was, well, yes, it was so late. It was almost last week. And, well, no card from Anthony Taylor, and the free kick is down the left-hand side for Burnley. And Wilson Odegaard should be careful with waving his hand in his face to signify a yellow card. I know if I was a referee and a player did that to me, they'd be going into the book immediately. The free kick is going to be taken. It's at the corner of the penalty area, probably a good 6 or 7 yards outside, though. Jacob Brun-Larsen is over it, and so is Brownhill, but it's going to be Brun-Larsen swings it in. It's a disappointing one. It's headed away there by Nathan Patterson. It's still bouncing around, and it's finally hooked away by Decore, and finally picked up by Josh Brownhill, who goes back to James Trafford. Trafford just plays the ball there to Dara O'Shea, who is under pressure from Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and he loses it, and here's Dwight McNeil. McNeil tries to get the cross in, but Dara O'Shea does very well defensively to come back and block that, and it's a corner to Everton. We have 4 minutes injury time, so it's about what I predicted. 4 minutes injury time, which has been awarded by our fourth official today, which is Tom Bramall. And the assistants, by the way, are Gary Beswick and Adam Nunn, and Chris Kavanagh's in VAR with Sean Messi Ellis. And the corner is going to be taken on the far side there by James Garner, I think. It's going to be swung in here. And it's a poor one, but it's flicked on by Michael Keane and goes over the crossbar and out of play. We have another comment in the comment section. Oh, no, we don't. And I thought we had another comment in the comment section, but we actually don't. It's a goal kick. And the ball is played forward here to Zeki Abdouni. And he tries to give the ball to Jacob Brun-Larsen. And I'm gonna. There is an update on the Tom Lockyer situation. Just for a moment, I'm going to bring in Russ in just a moment. Here's Jacob Brun-Larsen. Russ, why don't you just give us that update if you are connected by mic there, please?
Yes, thanks, Paul. Good evening, everybody. Luton Town have released a statement on Twitter which says, our medical staff have confirmed the Atis captain, Tom Lockyer, suffered a cardiac arrest on the pitch, who was responsive by the time he was taken off on the stretcher. He received further treatment inside the stadium, for which we once again thank medical teams from both sides. Tom was transferred to hospital, and we can reassure supporters that he is stable and currently undergoing further tests with his family at his bedside. Luton go on to say, we would like to thank everyone for their support, concern and loving messages for Locks. And that's posted on Luton Town's X or Twitter feed, whichever you want to call it now. Back over to you, Paul.
Thank you very much for that update, Russ. We all appreciate that very much. We're all deeply concerned for Tom Lockyer. While you've been away, Burnley have had a golden opportunity. The ball came across from Vitinho and just challenging there. Zeki Abdouni was waiting to tap the ball in the net, but Ben Godfrey got across to make a wonderful defensive challenge there. It is a corner for Everton now. For Burnley now. It's swung in by Jacob Brun-Larsen and out to Zeki Abdouni just inside the penalty area, who balloons that shot over the crossbar. And vital challenge that really by Ben Godfrey. Just look at this again. Just gets across there just as Zeki Abdouni was about ready to pull the trigger and put the ball into the net. But great work by Ben Godfrey. And now it is a goal. It's Ben Godfrey. That's a goal kick to be taken quickly downfield by Jordan Pickford, and going up for the challenge here is Garner, and cleared into the air by Jordan Bayer. And Garner again. He's he was fouled that time, in fact, by Delcroix. It's going to be a free kick to Everton as we approach the 4 minutes completed. We will now be into sort of what time Anthony Taylor wants to add on as discretionary time. But they've got a free kick here of Everton. And standing over this is Dwight McNeil, as once again Burnley have that high line. We'll be back to JB at half time. And I'm sure JB has some things he wants to say here. Dwight McNeil, the cross comes in, and James Trafford just plucks it out of the air. And the ball is now, well, James Tarkowski is complaining. Let's just take a look here. I think he goes down very easily under the challenge from Rodriguez. I don't think there's anything in that. But there, in fact, it's a half-time whistle at Turf Moor, and it's Burnley 0, Everton 2. A goal on 18 minutes by a header from Amadou Onana. And Michael Keane adds to that lead when the ball deflected kindly to him off Dara O'Shea, with some very poor defending from Burnley. A lacklustre display from the Clarets. Sean Dyche goes in, much the happier manager. At half-time, it's Burnley 0, Everton 2. Back to you, JB.
Thank you, Paul. And you say poor defending. It was diabolical defending. I have never, ever seen a 45 minutes that was such an absolute shambles than what I've just seen from Burnley Football Club right now. Everton deserve to be 2-0 up. Let's give them full credit. Let's give them full marks. Sean Dyche, tactically sound. Vincent Kompany, I cannot say the same. Disgraceful, no fight, no energy. Some of the players don't want to try, don't seem to be trying. James Trafford wanting on the first goal. O'Shea, appalling again on the second goal. Dara O'Shea, get out. If you're not going to try or play for this for Burnley Football Club, don't bother. Don't bother putting a Burnley shirt on ever again. These Burnley players need to get in there, and a few heads need to roll in that dressing room at half-time. Because let's put it this way. I'm a Burnley fan, and I am absolutely... Listen, I've got to stay professional, obviously. Apologies if you are listening in the back, if there's any noise in the background. But I have got to be honest with you right now, guys. This is not a Burnley... I mean, Vincent Kompany has been a terrific servant for the last 2 years for this football club. What happened last year was fantastic. It was amazing, tremendous for the football club. This season, he has absolutely done the wrong things. He's dismantled the team that absolutely walked promotion last season. He's brought in £100 million worth of wingers when there was major surgery needed at the back, major surgery needed up front. The Lyle Foster thing has not helped, although it's good to see him back, by the way, tonight on the bench. A lot of things haven't helped. Dara O'Shea's been a complete waste of money. James Trafford has been a complete waste of 20 million. The whole season has been a complete shambles because this was a game that Burnley needed to win. They needed to win this game. They have not tried one iota. You can have all the possession. You can have all the play that you want. But I have to be honest, Everton, when it's counted in the final third, I've been there, right place, right time. Anona with the first goal. James Trafford, weak goalkeeping like he was against Arsenal. Absolutely disgraceful. And I was starting to turn the other side for Trafford after his performance at Brighton. And I did the commentary last week for JB Sports. I actually thought James Trafford had turned a corner. I really did think he turned a corner with all those saves he made from the Brighton players. Tonight, he made one terrific save. Odebear trying to do stupid tricks and flicks inside his own area, which led to the corner, which in turn led to the first goal. Absolutely pathetic. And then when they take a little break, because I think one of the Burnley players or one of the players on the field got injured, Company got all his troops over. There was no Company just talked to the players. He didn't give them a tirade. If I was Company right now and if I was the manager, I would be giving them an almighty tirade because they deserve every bit of criticism going. There was boos. I mean, that should tell people something that Burnley have not been good enough in the first 45 minutes alone. Credit to Everton. You look at the form of the last 3 games, they're playing like a team that are fighting. They're playing like a team that want a victory more than ever before. They are doing everything that they have to do. The second goal, a bit fortunate maybe, but Michael Keane, credit him. Right place, right time after some absolute stinking defending from Dara O'Shea. It's not good enough from Burnley's point of view. They have been disgusting. They have been... I think the worst performance of the season was that cup defeat again at Goodison. I think this is getting close to being in that performance. It's been a diabolical performance. I'm even thinking even a point now isn't enough. We needed all 3 tonight. I think all 3 points, I've got to be honest now, have truly gone. They've truly gone by the wayside because, let's face it, there's no way in the world that Burnley are going to get back and win this game. And the way they're playing right now, it looks very ominous. Elsewhere today, Chelsea 2, Sheffield United 0. Let's get back to some reality now and try and present with a little bit more, less passion. But Burnley held the course. And, as an ex-Claret, as a supporter of the Clarets, I have to be a little bit passionate. Anyway, Chelsea had no such problems in dispatching Sheffield United this afternoon. Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson with 2 goals in a 7-minute blitz in the second half. 54 minutes, Cole Palmer scored. That was after a lengthy check on VAR, and the second one was after a lengthy check on VAR from Nicholas Jackson. So 2-0 to Chelsea. They're back on song. The biggest result of the day, really, Manchester City 2, Crystal Palace 2. City had gone 2 goals ahead with Jack Grealish and Lewis, and they looked in complete control. Then 15 minutes from the end, Mateta pulled one back for Palace, and a late penalty from Michael Elise in the 5th minute of stoppage time has sent 4,000 Eagles home from Manchester. Delighted, I would have thought. And in the other game in the Premier League that finished, Newcastle 3, Fulham 0. Fulham were reduced to 10 men after 22 minutes when Jimenez was sent off for a very vicious challenge on Sean Longstaff. It caught the Newcastle player right in the face. In fact, the original decision that was given on VAR after the referee had initially gave a yellow card on the field. But then when Raul Jimenez, when they saw the replay VAR, there was a necessity to send the player off. You cannot catch a man in the face. It's just not good enough. And I think Sam Barrett, who's probably going to be a good referee, knowing a young referee, how he's not able to spot that is a disgrace. He's not a very good referee at all, Sam Barrett, and I'm sorry, but that was, Sam Barrett needs to be doing more Football League games than Premier League games. I think he's been fast-tracked far too early for my liking. Anyway, Lewis Miley put Newcastle ahead. He was a substitute. He came on as a substitute, made it 1-0, and then Almiron made it 2 after 64. Dan Burn 8 minutes from the end, making it absolute. So Newcastle now back in the top 6, 2 points ahead of Manchester United, who have dropped like a stone to 7th place and have got a very difficult trip to Anfield tomorrow night, and that is going to be a trip and a half. That is for sure. But so disappointing. Let's just update you with the Tom Lockyer situation. That is very, very good news that Tom Lockyer, but it was a cardiac arrest, as Russ was saying during the first half in that game during the commentary of the first half at Turf Moor. The Premier League have said in a statement just now the thoughts over Tom Lockyer and all the players and all the 21 other players involved in that game down at Dean Court. But here at Turf Moor, it has been a chasing, and I put this mildly. And I've got to be honest. I'm gonna try and hit social media here before the second half kicks in, because Twitter. I'm going to get a few responses from Burnley fans right now, because this is not there's a lot of stuff going on there with Tom Lockyer as well. But let's just. I'm just typing in on my Twitter feed, and let's just see. Let's see if we can get some Burnley reaction to what's going on here. Let's. There's one person here. I don't like to single out players, as I always get behind the team, but Ache is so far out of his depth. Only Odebear has offered anything so far, and we invite trouble onto ourselves. We're not good enough to deal with it. It's so frustrating. But second half, press. Don't mess about at the back with the ball. Another one says, absolutely shambolic performance. I thought there was improvement over the last 2 games especially, but again, they're right back to where they are again. Disgraceful performance, not acceptable. Club statements at halftime, absolutely awful and embarrassing. Burnley FC going down. It's not looking good. Should have played Ekdal. It's just been an absolute shambles. Here's one. Dump Trafford or go down. Feels like Kerry Joe Hart all over again. Get Lyle Foster on. So many criticisms coming on social media. I wonder if Paul James is back with us. Paul, are you there?
Yes, JB, I am. I was just listening to some of those comments. I think Ekdal's situation, I was beginning to wonder whether Ekdal was actually injured, but I don't think he is. It's for some reason he's just being left out, and I'm not sure what the deal is, because of course he's not even on the bench, is he?
No, he isn't. Obviously, we'll talk more in depth after the match, obviously, about at the end of the game about Burnley's performance tonight. But I have to say, I don't know if you've been listening to me, but I have to say I've seen some pretty dire Burnley performances. I'm sure you have this season. But this has got amongst the worst I've seen from a Burnley side I'm not one to really pick out individuals, but I've had to go at Trafford, I've had to go at O'Shea, and I've had to go at Odegaard for a certain extent, because he started with that stupid flick halfway inside his own half, which led to the first Everton goal. What your takes from? I know you've got to, obviously you're the commentator, you're unbiased, and I think we've got to give credit to Everton, by the way, in all of this.
Yeah.
But if you're, I mean, you're a Burnley fan like I am. I mean, how disgusted inside do you feel right now with that first half performance, and what do you think Cutney needs to do? Because let's face it, he's got 45 minutes, in my opinion, to save his job.
Well, I think the issue here is, and I've been saying it for a long time, like almost since the beginning of the season, that they don't look like they can compete at this level. Physically, skillfully, they just don't look like they can compete. Now, we saw it against Sheffield United, but I feel that Sheffield United are very much in the same position we are, if I'm being honest. But I think for the most part, like take last week, for example, had it not been for James Trafford, we wouldn't have got that point. He's also made a super save today, of course, so one or two good saves actually. But I think, to be honest, it's been a very, very, as you say, I echo your words, JB. It's been a dreadful display from Burnley in such a big game against a fellow bottom of the table team who are also struggling. A chance to reduce the gap, and they put up a performance like that. Yeah, I think Burnley fans have every right to be upset.
I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I might ask this question after the game is finished. But I'm gonna ask it until after the game about Vincent Kompany. But I mean, the way I'm just going to look at the live league table now, Paul. We will join you in time for the commentary. Don't worry, fellas. Don't worry, guys that are tuning in. You'll not miss a kick with us in the second half. But looking at the live league table now, Burnley at this moment in time would be 8 points, so they'd be so let's do the maths on that. Would be 6 points behind Nottingham Forest, 8 behind Everton. Then you got the next 2 games. We're away at Fulham. Okay, they've been beaten today, but the last 2 games at Craven Cottage, they've stranded 9 goals. And then you've got Liverpool, who are in terrific form at Turf Moor on Boxing Day. And you look at the next 2 games, where are the next points going to come from?
Difficult to say, JB. I have said for a long time, I have no idea where the wins are coming from. And just because of the fact that they're just the performances aren't there. You see, look, here's the thing: you can look at a side and you can say, well, okay, every team has bad days, they have off days, they play very badly some days, but this is consistent with Burnley. It's week in, week out, and my concern with that now is that is going to come into a greater fold, if you will, where they're going to continue to struggle, and they're not getting the wins that they need. The confidence must be at rock bottom. It does look like Lyle Foster's coming on, so it looks like Vincent Kompany has made a change. I suspect it's for Zeki Abduni, but
I was hoping it would be Jay Rodriguez, quite frankly, because he's been pathetic in that first half. He had a chance where he could have taken on a shot himself. Instead, he tried to turn. And I'm sorry to slag the guy off because he's an hometown lad and he cares a lot, but I'm afraid Jay Rodriguez has not been good enough. But this was a great opportunity. This was Ben Godfrey. They're getting that ball away. Abduni should be scoring, but then again, you look at Ben Godfrey. He's coming in from nowhere. That's a great challenge. And I have to say, before we hand back to you for the second half, I have to be honest. I think Everton have been brilliant. I mean, okay, they haven't had to work for the 2 goals, but their organisation, their defensive play for a lot of the 45 minutes has been good.
Yeah, Everton have performed very, very well in the first half. I've been very impressed with them. I mean, they've been on form for a while now and have been playing great football. As I said earlier, this 10-point deduction seems to have done them at least some sort of motivation. And you did get your wish, by the way, JB. It is Jay Rodriguez that has come off at halftime for Lyle Foster as the second half gets underway here at Turf Moor.
Okay,
Burnley.
Okay, let's head back to Paul now for the second half. All yours.
Cheers, JB. And the second half is underway. Burnley are going to be attacking the cricket field stand, which is the goal to our right, for those of you not familiar with Turf Moor. And here's Jordan Pickford. Pickford is launching the ball downfield now. Just headed on there by Jack Harris, but it goes straight through to James Trafford. I just wonder what Vincent Kompany has said to his players at half-time and what the response will be as Lyle Foster is welcomed back as a Burnley player. He's been off for mental health reasons, and we obviously are very, very delighted that he's back. And let's see if he can get a goal for the Clarets in the second half. Everton have also made a substitution. Decore has come off and Dobbin has come on. So Lewis Dobbin has come on for Decore in a like-for-like swap. One has to think that might be an injury. I can't imagine Sean Dyche making a tactical switch at this stage, given how well Everton has played in that first half. But that's the substitutions at half-time. I'll run through the lineups for you in just a moment here. In fact, we might as well do it now. James Trafford is in goal for Burnley. Hans Delquar, Jordan Bayer, Dara O'Shea, Vitinho, Wilson Odegaard, Josh Brownhill, Sander Berg, Jacob Brun-Larsen, Zeki Abdouni and Lyle Foster. Now for Everton, it's Jordan Pickford, Ben Godfrey, Michael Keane, James Tarkowski, Nathan Patterson, Dwight McNeil, James Garner, Abdu Onana, Jack Harris, and it's Lewis Dobbin and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. As here come Burnley now with Vitinho. Vitinho gives it to Brun-Larsen. Back to the edge of the area there to Sander Berg, and the shot is blocked there, I think, by Ben Godfrey, who got the final touch. Burnley starting the second half very much in the way that they started the first half, pressing a little bit. And it's Jordan Bayer now, just making a quick run, gives it to Josh Brownhill. Brownhill back to Sander Berg. Good ball by Berg over on the far side to Brun-Larsen. Brun-Larsen with a cross, all right across the face of goal, and turned behind by Nathan Patterson. But none of the Burnley forwards were going in to attack that. Because that was an absolutely delightful ball in that corridor of uncertainty. But neither Lyle Foster nor Zeki Abdouni was there. Foster got the closest. It's a corner to Burnley on the other side now. And it's Jacob Brun-Larsen. And Foster there, Bayer, Abdouni, Wilson Odegaard, all in there. The corner is not the best, but it goes across the 6-yard box, and it's in the end, it's Onana that has to clear it. Helped along its way by Michael Keane. And as we just look at this ball coming in again, it's bouncing around there. But it really wasn't the best corner by Burnley. Here is Dara O'Shea. O'Shea, just looking for what options he's got available. He gives the ball to Sander Berg. Sander Berg, again down this right-hand side to Jacob Brun-Larsen. Brun-Larsen gives the ball to Berg. Berg, again, this time finds Vitinho. Vitinho, he's got Dwight McNeil in front of him. Can he get the cross in? He finds Brun-Larsen. Brun-Larsen across. It's a disappointing ball by Brun-Larsen. Right into the hands of Jordan Pickford. But that really was a wonderful move by Vitinho. Great slide rule pass to Brun-Larsen, but the ball from Brun-Larsen was far too close to Jordan Pickford. And Pickford clears the ball downfield. I've had some comments in the comment section. Joe Smoke says comments deserve an applause too. And yeah, definitely. And here's a chance now for Brun-Larsen. Brun-Larsen, and just over by the touchline. Just looking for the options available. He's pulled back to the edge of the area to Sander Berg. And right back to Wilson Odegaard, who gets a shot. Is blocked. Brownhill gives the ball there to Delquar. Delquar to Foster. Foster gets a shot away, but it's not the best effort. Goes straight through to Jordan Pickford. And it's a comfortable save for the England international. Lyle Foster, I'm sure Burnley fans will be welcoming him back with open arms. They really have missed him while he's been away. Jordan Pickford just drops the ball now, and he's just going to take the ball outside of his penalty area. And he's going to launch this ball left-footed downfield. He's almost at, midway inside his own half of the field. He launches the ball long. And chasing this one is Calvert-Lewin. It escapes Calvert-Lewin and goes to Hans Delquar, who clears the ball upfield. Flicked on by Foster and then by Michael Keane. And it's now back with Michael Keane. Gives the ball to Ben Godfrey. Godfrey to Onana. Back to Godfrey. Back to Michael Keane. And across to James Tarkowski. Tarkowski. It's a long ball by Tarkowski. And chasing this one down is Jack Harris. And Dara O'Shea has to deal with it. And Dara O'Shea, is he able to keep the ball in play? Yes, he did. And he knocked the ball out of play for a throw-in just a couple of yards away from the Burnley corner flag. And that was chased down by Jack Harris. Jack Harrison really made it difficult for Dara O'Shea there. And the ball is, it's a free kick now to Everton. Vitinho has committed the foul there, and this is in a very dangerous position on the foul on Harrison. But you just look at this. Jack Harrison just turns away there and is fouled by Vitinho. And this is from a very dangerous position, a set piece, about 5 or 6 yards, probably level with the Burnley 6-yard box, and only a couple of yards outside the penalty area. So you've got, over this one, you've got James Garner and you have got Dwight McNeil. It looks like Dwight McNeil may be moving away from this one, and James Garner's standing over it now. Michael Keane is in there. You can bet James Tarkowski is in there. And Onana and all the big guys are up there. Onana and Michael Keane. And the cross coming in, and wow, James Garner just swung that across Trafford's goal, and James Trafford had to palm a hand at that and turn it wide, because that may have been floating into the far corner, very similar to the goal Toni Kroos scored in the World Cup in 2018 against Sweden. It was a really wonderful curling effort. Good work by James Trafford. It's a corner to Everton, and it's going to be Dwight McNeil over there that's going to take that, as once again the big guns in there. And it's swung in. It's headed into the air by O'Shea, but not really far enough away. Headed out again, this time by Brownhill. And it's launched back into the box and headed out again by Jordan Bayer. As Burnley really fighting to defend for their lives at the moment. Here's Tarkowski. Tarkowski plays the ball down this side to Harrison. Harrison just plays the ball into the box there, and it was a rush clearance there by O'Shea up into the air. Zeki Abdouni beaten in the air, though, by Onana. And it's now with James Tarkowski. Tarkowski plays the ball forward. Chasing this one down is Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but coming across to meet that and pick up the ball is James Trafford. He releases it quickly to Jordan Bayer. Bayer down over on that far side to Delcroix, who was looking for Wilson Odegaard. The ball goes out of play that time, and it's going to be a throw into Burnley, and it's given to Sanderberg. Sanderberg drops it now to O'Shea. O'Shea just looking for the options available is Dara O'Shea, and it's O'Shea again, and he's just brought the ball down this near side to Jacob Brun-Larsen, and Brun-Larsen gives the ball back to O'Shea. O'Shea gives it to Berg. Berg, long ball over on the far side to Odegaard. He brings the ball down well, and he gives the ball to Delcroix, and drops the ball there back to Jordan Bayer. Bayer, and that's a nice pass from there to Dara O'Shea. Dara O'Shea tries to find Jacob Brun-Larsen, but Dwight McNeil is enough to put Brun-Larsen off, and Dwight McNeil plays the ball forward, and cutting across there is Dara O'Shea with the header, but he only sends the ball out of play, and it looks like he has received a clattering challenge by Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin is saying, well, I didn't really do anything wrong, I just challenged for the ball. Anthony Taylor is having a word. Let's just take a look. Well, there's shoulder to shoulder and there's charging. That was charging. You could see he launches into Dara O'Shea there. And I'm just wondering there whether the referee has in fact given a free kick. The ball is now anyway with Sanderberg. Sanderberg under pressure from Garner. He gives the ball to Dara O'Shea. Dara O'Shea down to Jacob Brun-Larsen. And here's Abdouni. Brun-Larsen. And just looking at what options are available there. The ball is played forward and Brun-Larsen is not able to pick that up and he's dispossessed. And there's Garner. Garner drops the ball back there to Tarkowski, but chasing in there is Foster, and that was good work by Foster, who's created this opportunity now. Brun-Larsen just gets across him, but it's blocked. Great work by Lyle Foster, and it looks like the referee has blown a halt to proceedings, and he seems to have given a free kick to Burnley. Let's take a look. Oh, yes, here for the challenge on Wilson Odegaard, and it's from a very dangerous position. Look at this. It's only about, it's probably about 23, 24 yards out. And Everton are now going to have to form a wall. And James Garner Onana, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Michael Keane are all in that wall. I suspect it will be joined by James Tarkowski as well, as the referee blowing his magic spray there on the pitch. Wonderful invention that spray is, because it just kind of marks the territory so nobody can steal any extra yards, and that is it's a wonderful. It's one of the things in football that really can hold no controversy. Burnley place a 3-man wall ahead of Everton's wall, and standing over this is Delcroix, and also looks like Sander Berg is over this one too. Delcroix looks like he's going to take it. It's going to be Sander Berg, and it takes a deflection off the wall and goes for a corner. And just taking a look at this, you can see it just comes off James Tarkowski there and goes behind for a corner, which Jacob Brun-Larsen is going to take. We've had 57 minutes gone here. It's Burnley 0, Everton 2, and the corner is going to be taken by Jacob Brun-Larsen. Brun-Larsen's not the best corner. It goes out to the edge of the area. It's headed back in there by Vitinho and headed out by Tarkowski, but only as far as Foster. Foster sandwiched there between two Everton players, actually between Ben Godfrey and not quite sure who the other one was, but I'm not sure why the official didn't give a free kick there, because Lyle Foster was absolutely sandwiched there. And anyway, Burnley have the ball back, and it's Dara O'Shea. O'Shea launches the ball long, looking for Foster, and this time Foster goes clattering into the back of Nathan Patterson with a little bit of revenge there, as I believe the other person sandwiching Foster was in fact Patterson, and yes, it was indeed. And this time Patterson gets it off Lyle Foster, and it's going to be a goal kick taken quickly by Jordan Pickford. And cleared downfield and headed on there. And Jack Harrison's chasing this one, but good defending by Dara O'Shea. Gets as far off as Nathan Patterson. And the ball is now with Michael Keane. Michael Keane, long ball over on the far side, looking for Dwight McNeil. Dwight McNeil has got Vitinho in front of him. It's good cross by Dwight McNeil, but James Trafford just plucks that one out of the air comfortably there, and Burnley can start again. And here's Sander Berg. Sander Berg looking at what options he's got available. He gives the ball to Dara O'Shea. O'Shea back to Sander Berg, just inside his own half of the field, and he plays the ball forward to Foster. Foster lays it off to Sander Berg again. Berg, long ball over on the far side, looking for Wilson Odegaard, but that's good work by Nathan Patterson. Gets across and heads that ball out of play for a Burnley throw-in, which Hans Delcroix will take on the far side there. And here's Dara O'Shea again for Burnley, just over the halfway line. O'Shea plays the ball to Jacob Brun-Larsen, and he knocks the ball back to Dara O'Shea, as Burnley looking void of ideas in this second half. We've had an hour gone here. You're listening to alternative commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's Player of the Match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services. And Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports, Focus on Football, and Storm FM. Don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1, and you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Commentary Hub. Here is Delcroix, tries to find Odegaard, and it's now back with Dara O'Shea, just over the halfway line. He's looking for options available. He gives it to Vitinho. Midway inside the Everton half of the field, he gives it to Sander Berg. Sander Berg turns away from the defender and now gives it to Zeki Abdouni. Abdouni drops the ball back to Dara O'Shea again. O'Shea lifts the ball forward, and he's found Jacob Brun-Larsen. Brun-Larsen just flicks the ball through to Zeki Abdouni. Abdouni goes down, appeals for a penalty, nothing given. And we'll revisit that again in a moment. And, a clattering challenge on Dominic Calvert-Lewin, that time by Sander Berg. And it's going to be a free kick to Everton. Let's just take a look at this again. It was James Tarkowski. He had his arm on Zeki Abdouni, but I don't think there was enough in that for me. I think Abdouni goes down pretty easily, in fairness. Vincent Kompany appeals for it, can't believe that it's not been given. And it's going to be we're just going to continue now. Burnley, well, it's are they getting desperate at this point? Jordan Pickford will take this free kick right on the almost at the halfway line, actually. Again, it's a very high line by Burnley. Pickford goes long over the top, and chasing this one is Delcroix, but Michael Keane should get there. And Michael Keane is just over with Delcroix at the corner for good work by Hans Delcroix that time. Won the tackle that time, and it gives the ball back to Jordan Bayer, who clears the ball downfield. Godfrey heads it back on to Onana. Onana just heads the ball down, and Dwight McNeil brings it down here now. And McNeil gets into the penalty area, tries to get the cross in, but it's a good challenge by Vitinho, and the ball goes behind for a corner to Everton. And at 62 minutes gone, it is Burnley 0, Everton 2, and at Turf Moor, and it's a very sombre sort of atmosphere around Turf Moor right now. There is not, at the moment, Burnley haven't really looked threatening too much, apart from the ball across by Jacob Brun-Larsen. It's a corner now, which is going to be taken by James Garner for Everton. Garner swings the ball in towards the back post. Trafford pawing at it, and he just makes enough contact. Oh, it hits the post twice. Oh, Burnley were nearly 3-0 down there. It hit the post twice. And it seemed to come off one of the Everton forwards. I'm not quite sure who it was. Jordan Pickford launched it in. It was headed back into the area again, this time by Tarkowski, and cleared away, but it hit the post twice that time. And somehow Burnley survived that. Jordan Pickford again launches the ball up. It's flicked on again by Tarkowski. And James Tarkowski has been causing an abundance of issues inside that Burnley defence in this first half. In this second half, and in the game as a whole, I should say. But here's Dara O'Shea, and is Vitinho. And Vitinho just drops the ball back there to Dara O'Shea once more. And Vitinho plays the ball forward, played back by Lyle Foster. And Dara O'Shea now gives the ball to Foster. Foster just looking to turn away, gives the ball to Berg. Berg back to Dara O'Shea and Vitinho. And Vitinho plays the ball forward there. Good work by Brownhill. And now it's Zeki Abdouni. Abdouni with a shot! Oh, super save! And I actually think that might have been Burnley's first shot on goal in the whole game. And it's Zeki Abdouni with the effort there, forcing a good save from Jordan Pickford. With his left hand, that's a good save. And Burnley will have a corner. And finally, something for this Turf Moor crowd to cheer about. And it's now with Vitinho. Vitinho plays the ball across there to Hans Delcroix. Delcroix lifts the ball into the box, but they'll just let that go behind for a goal kick as we look at Michael Keane. The ball just sort of bounced off him and hit the post. Let's take a look at this. It was palmed off there. It just came off. Oh, Keane tried to turn it in and it hit the post once. It was then off Vitinho, who nearly put it into his own goal, and it hit the post a second time. Wow. Burnley lucky to survive that one and not go 3-0 behind. But once again, chaos in the Burnley defence. And here's Onana. Onana gives the ball to Michael Keane. Michael Keane plays the ball forward. And here is Lewis Dobbin. Dobbin picks up the ball here. He's under pressure by two Burnley players, and it's won back there eventually by Lyle Foster, and now Burnley coming forward over the halfway line. And that's a good pass to Jacob Brun-Larsen. Can he get the cross in? Foster straining to get into the middle. There's Foster. Oh, it just goes behind him. Oh, it just went behind Foster. That would have been a free header. And it's going to be a free kick to Burnley now. And it's taken quickly. And it's Dara O'Shea. O'Shea gives the ball to Vitinho. Vitinho back to O'Shea. And again to Vitinho. And back to Dara O'Shea. And Burnley once again, just a patient build up here. And Sanderberg just gives the ball to Jordan Bayer. And back now with Sanderberg. Sanderberg launches the ball in, looking for Brun Larsen, but it's over his head and goes behind for a goal kick. And with 66 minutes gone, it remains Burnley 0, Everton 2. As you can see here now, with just looking again at this this cross by Brun Larsen, you could see that waiting there in the wings was Lyle Foster. He will be just itching to get on the score sheet again. Here's Onana now for Everton to Dwight McNeil. Plays the ball. Oh, well, almost won back there by Vitinho from Jack Harrison, but the ball goes out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in for Everton. And it's going to be taken by Dwight McNeil. McNeil gives the ball to Harrison and back to McNeil. And Michael Keane plays the ball across there to Ben Godfrey and over out on the far side to Patterson. Patterson has got Dobbin alongside him, but that's a good challenge by Wilson Odegaard that time. And it's going to be a throw-in to Everton. 67 minutes gone here. And Everton at the moment in a comfortable position right now. And here's Onana. Patterson goes all the way back to Dwight McNeil there. And now to Michael Keane. And it's cleared downfield. Looking for Patterson again. He's able to nod the ball down to Dobbin. Dobbin returns the ball to Patterson. Break on here for Everton. The cross comes in, but it's cleared up into the air by Dara O'Shea and cleared away. But it looks like it's going to be a free kick as Al Dakhil is coming on. Offside given by the official. Action on the Burnley bench as Al Dakhil is preparing to come on for the Clarets. Just wonder who that change will be for. I suspect it will be for Dara O'Shea, but we'll wait and see. And here's Vitinho. He gives the ball to Dara O'Shea. Across to Jordan Bayer. Back to O'Shea. And here's Zeki Abdouni. Abdouni dropped back there now to Dara O'Shea again. O'Shea to Abdouni. Oh, that's a good challenge that time by Jack Harrison. And we are going to have a throw-in for Burnley, and it looks like Al Dakhil is coming on now, and he is coming on for Hans Delcroix. Now, I have to say, I'm somewhat shocked at that, because Hans Delcroix has had a pretty decent game. I'm really quite shocked to see that, but that is the substitution that Vincent Kompany has opted for. So, Al Dakhil will come on for Hans Delcroix, and he takes his position. He's going to take the throw in here. Is Dakhil. And it's Vincent Kompany. He's just talking over with Craig Bellamy, his assistant there. And there is Dara O'Shea. O'Shea gives the ball to Bayer. Bayer on the far side there to Wilson Odegaard. Odegaard just cutting inside. He's so quick, is Wilson Odegaard, and he's just trying to look for the ball over the top to Lyle Foster, but that was nothing doing. And here is Lewis Dobbin for Everton, who drops it back there to Ben Godfrey. And Michael Keane just drops it back to Jordan Pickford, who gives the ball to Ben Godfrey. Everton just happy to kind of maintain possession right now. And Onana just gives the ball to Garner and then to Patterson. Patterson goes long, looking for Lewis Dobbin and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. It's won that time by Jordan Bayer, who's managed Calvert-Lewin quite well today. So with 20 minutes to go, it's Burnley 0, Everton 2, and you are listening to Alternative Commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's player of the match sponsor is sponsored on the Hub by Commentary Services, and Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports, Focus on Football, and Storm FM. Don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1, and you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Commentary Hub. And that's my marketing duties done for the evening. And with 19 minutes to go, you can see there, very relaxed Sean Dyche, who's probably enjoyed his visit back to Turf Moor. I expect it brought back a lot of memories. Probably got to see a few people as well. Jordan Pickford now will take this free kick. It's launched forward. Sander Berg getting up for the header, but so is Michael Keane. It's hacked away by Dakiel, but only as far as Ben Godfrey. Gives the ball now to Dwight McNeil. Dwight McNeil just drops the ball back there to James Tarkowski. And Tarkowski goes all the way back to Jordan Pickford. And Pickford, that's a good ball. He was looking for Patterson, actually, but it does go over Patterson's head and goes out of play for a throw-in to Burnley. And here is Dara O'Shea for Burnley. O'Shea, just inside his own half of the field, he's got Dakiel alongside him. Dakiel just lifts the ball forward to Brun Larson, but that's not the best ball. Cutting across to make the challenge is Michael Keane. And another comment in the comment section. Joe Smoke says, great stuff, Paul. And the ball goes out of play. Thank you, Joe, for a throw-in to Burnley. And it is Al Dakiel that is going to take this one. And it's level with the Everton penalty area. He finds Lyle Foster. Dakiel just flicks the ball back there, and now Foster gets away. Can he get the cross in, Lyle Foster? He's just trying to get away from James Tarkowski. He pulls the ball back, but that's knocked behind by Michael Keane for another Burnley corner. As with 18 minutes to go, Everton still in the lead here, as Burnley are pressing but not able to break down this Everton defence, really. And the corner is going to be taken by Brun Larson. And Jacob Brun Larson looks like he may outswing this one. Indeed he does. Again, not the best corner. And Michael Keane just gets a foot on that. And it will be knocked all the way back to the Burnley goalkeeper, James Trafford, from Vitinho. James Trafford, midway inside the Burnley half of the field, is just going to give this to Dara O'Shea. And O'Shea, now just over the halfway line, he's got options alongside him. Gives the ball to Brun Larson. And here's Vitinho now. Vitinho pulls the ball back there to O'Shea, who goes all the way back to James Trafford. Trafford gives the ball to Jordan Beyer. And Beyer then just rolls the ball back to Trafford and back to Beyer. And just giving the ball away that time is Dakiel, but he does well to win the ball back there, Al Dakiel. But Everton have won the ball back again now with Calvert-Lewin, and the cross comes in by Dobbin, but it's actually blocked that time by Al Dakiel. Everton unable to really press an advantage from that mistake by Al Dakiel. As it's a throw-in now for Everton, level with the Burnley penalty area. It's given to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Back again to Calvert-Lewin, and here's Onana, who crosses the ball in, all unable to control it was Michael Keane, but it's with Dwight McNeil on the far side. McNeil, left-hand side, can he get away from Sander Berg? He's not able to, and now Burnley can move forward. The ball goes off Jack Harrison and out of play for a throw-in to Burnley, and it's taken quickly, and Dara O'Shea just gives the ball to Jordan Beyer. And it's now again with O'Shea ball. It's long. It's a good ball, actually, but Brun Larson was unable to take control of it. And now Everton can come away as Dwight McNeil plays the ball forward, and chasing this one down is Jack Harrison. But cutting across to make the challenge there is Dara O'Shea. And there is a foul on Zeki Abdouni by Dwight McNeil there. And we're going to have a free kick for Burnley. It's taken quickly. Jacob Brun Larson gives the ball back to Dara O'Shea, who goes to James Trafford, who's midway inside the Burnley half of the field. And he gives the ball to Dara O'Shea. O'Shea plays the ball across to Jordan Beyer. Beyer back to Dara O'Shea. And back to Jordan Beyer. Looking for options. He's over the halfway line is Beyer. And now here's Vitinho. Left-hand side, Vitinho gets the cross in, but it's far too close to Jordan Pickford. And the England international, well, that's meat and drink for him. He just pulls that out of the air. And with 14 minutes to go, and in about 10 minutes' time, I'll be naming my player of the match. And at the moment, one thing I can guarantee you, it won't be a Burnley player. It's cleared downfield, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin chasing that one, but good work by Vitinho. Dara O'Shea slips it to Amin Al-Dakhil. Dakhil just drops the ball back to Dara O'Shea, and O'Shea goes back to James Trafford, and he finds Al-Dakhil. Al-Dakhil plays the ball forward to Zeki Abdouni. He just turns away from Aminu Onana, and he gives the ball there to Sanderberg. And that's a good ball by Vitinho to Wilson Odegaard. Been a little quieter in the second half. Let's see what he can do, Odegaard. He drops the ball there back to Vitinho. Gets the cross in, but once again, it is too close to Jordan Pickford. And it's a comfortable save for the England international. Well, what a performance today by Everton, it has to be said. They've performed very, very well and fully deserved their 2-0 lead. And here's Amadou Onana, who's played a key role in this victory, or this so far victory at least, for Everton. We don't want to rule Burnley out completely yet. Anything can happen in 13 minutes. As one great man said, it only takes a minute to score a goal. And here is Brownhill. And he plays the ball across there to Dara O'Shea. O'Shea just gives the ball again to Jordan Beyer. Beyer back to Dara O'Shea. Dara O'Shea just getting across the halfway line. And Burnley again, they seem to be lacking ideas. Now you have to credit that as well, partly to Everton's defending, which has been superb. We all know Everton at the moment, at least, are amongst the top 4 in defences in the league, having only conceded 20 goals this season. The ball is launched forward there, looking for Lyle Foster. Cutting across there is Michael Keane to shut out Lyle Foster that time, and he clears the ball downfield. And it's now with Dara O'Shea again as Burnley start again. Looking for the options available, and it's now down with Amin Al-Dakhil. Dakhil to Brun Larsen. Back to Dakhil. And the ball is now with Dakhil again. And he drops the ball back there to the number 2, Dara O'Shea. Dara O'Shea, long ball looking for Wilson Odegaard, but it was never going to get there. And it was a comfortable header there by Patterson. Now Lewis Dobbin is putting Vitinho under pressure, but Vitinho does well there. And it's now with Dara O'Shea, who launches the ball forward. Zeki Abdouni flicks it on, and here's Brun Larsen. What can he do with it now? Jacob Brun Larsen pulled back to the edge of the area, and the shot comes in. It rattles the crossbar off Sanderberg. Oh, that's the closest Burnley have come. It rattled the crossbar. Had Jordan Pickford beaten all ends up. And, well, that's unfortunate for Sanderberg. What an effort. We'll take a look at that again in a moment, as there's more action on the Burnley substitute bench. Looks like they may be bringing on Josh Cullen, I think, over there, but we'll see in a moment. And here's Brun Larsen again. Brun Larsen, he's got Al-Dakhil overlapping. Is he just looking to get the cross in here? Is Brun Larsen. He gives the ball to Sanderberg, who hit that wonderful shot against the Everton crossbar. Sanderberg back to Brun Larsen. And Brun Larsen again. Just looking for the options available. As a thunderous strike against the crossbar. And here is Jordan Beyer. Gives it to Wilson Odegaard. Odegaard now approaching the Everton penalty area. He's so dangerous from these positions is Odegaard. Pulled back to Sanderberg again. He's going to have another shot. This time it's blocked by Tarkowski and loops into Jordan Pickford's arms. But look at this again. It was headed on here by Berg. And it was Berg that kind of just pulled this back to Sanderberg. Brun Larsen, who pulled this ball back to Sanderberg. And it was, wow, he hit that with some pace considering it was a side foot, and it rattled the crossbar. Just something for Burnley fans to cheer about in the second half, and that's there it was. And there's it's played back to the goalkeeper by James Tarkowski. Pickford clears the ball downfield. It's headed on to Zeki Abdouni, and Tarkowski clatters into Abdouni. Anthony Taylor awards a free kick. And it's, let's see here. And, oh yes, perhaps a bit late from James Tarkowski. He's complaining about it, but the Anthony Taylor has made up his mind, as we've got 9 minutes left to go here. Everton bringing on another substitute themselves. Beto is ready to come on for Everton for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Dominic Calvert-Lewin coming off now. Beto coming on. Not surprised, really. Calvert-Lewin has been fairly quiet today. And Beto coming on. And for Burnley, there is a substitution there. It is Manuel Benson that's come on. And again, rather surprising, Jacob Brun-Larsen. Any sort of creativity that has been from Burnley today has come from Jacob Brun-Larsen. So again, I'm really surprised about that substitution too. But again, that's the substitute that he has gone with. So Jacob Brun-Larsen is on. Jacob Brun-Larsen is off and Manuel Benson is on. I'm sure Burnley fans will be happy to see Manuel Benson. The free kick comes in and it's Foster with the header, and it just goes behind for a goal kick. So the free kick was launched in there, and Foster, you can see that, gets the header, just directs it wide though. And 8 minutes to go here, and Everton look in control at the moment, but Burnley just threatening in the last few minutes. And they've won the ball back again here with Zeki Abdouni, but he slips. Now Garner is playing the ball long there, looking for Beto, but the ball goes out of play. And it's going to be a free kick. And very soon I will be naming my player of the match in about 4 or 5 minutes' time. I will be naming the player of the match for today. Now, the ball is with Michael Keane. Michael Keane just gives the ball to Tarkowski, and Tarkowski gives it to Dwight McNeil, who returns it to James Tarkowski, the Everton captain today. Flicked on by Jack Harrison to Beto. Beto just under pressure there, but it's back now with Jack Harrison. Harrison tries to find Beto. That's good defending that time by Burnley. And the ball breaks loose, and it's down this near side to Dwight McNeil. Dwight McNeil, he's got options available. Can he get the cross in? And that's Alder Keel getting across and making that challenge. Good work by him. And Everton now, we're just looking to see who that is down there as well. That looks like that's Nathan Redmond. Is it? Or is it? We'll have a look and see who that is in a moment anyway. He's just got his head down. I can't tell who it is right now. And it is James Tarkowski now. Tarkowski to Michael Keane. Long ball looking for Dwight McNeil. And that is an excellent ball, it has to be said. And Dwight McNeil gets across him, but he's determined that Dwight McNeil was not able to keep the ball in play. And it's Tressar coming on. But there's also another one, which looks like Nathan Redmond. Yes, so double substitution coming up for Burnley. Nathan Redmond and Mike Tressar are coming on for the Clarets. And we're just going to see who the two are coming off in a moment. That substitution is not going to take place yet. Here's Michael Keane, midway inside the Burnley half. He plays the ball across there to Patterson. And that's a good turn that time. But Burnley win the ball back with Zeki Abdouni. Abdouni has got Wilson Odegaard down that side. Odegaard just approached there by Dobbin, but Burnley keep possession. And it is Vitinho, and it's now back with Berg. And down this near side for Burnley is Manuel Benson. Benson, so famous for cutting inside and getting the shot away. He's been known to do that all of last season. I suspect Everton are onto that. Here's Benson. Benson again now. Manuel Benson. He's looking to get the cross, and he can towards the back post. Odegaard is able to pull it back, and it eventually finds the number. It eventually just came back for Burnley, and it was an opportunity there. It just went behind him. Went behind Abdouni there, really. And it's now back with Jordan Bayer. And here's Dara O'Shea. Gives the ball to Aldakiel. He's got Benson alongside him. Benson just trying to get away from Dwight McNeil, but that's a good challenge by Dwight McNeil. And also coming on here, now we're going to see the substitutions here. Now it's Mike Tresser and Nathan Redmond. Vitinho is one to make way, and he's come off for Redmond. And for Tresser, it is Wilson Odegaard. So Odegaard and Vitinho are off. Tresser and Redmond are on the 86th minute. And that's all 5 substitutions used by the Clarets today. The last throw of the dice, really, for Vincent Kompany in this game. And at the next stoppage of play, I will give the player of the match. But right now, it is Sanderberg, and he gives the ball to Manuel Benson again. Benson just trying to get to the touchline, attempts to get the cross in, and it's come off Dwight McNeil. It's going to be a corner. Good defending there by Dwight McNeil. And we're just going to hold off the player of the match while this corner is taken quickly by Burnley. It's down there with Josh Brownhill, and it's now with Manuel Benson. Benson gives the ball back to Redmond. It's a disappointing ball into the box by Redmond, and it's cleared out. And just before I do give player of the match, I'd like to thank everybody. Oh, James Trafford was almost caught out there. Oh, chasing in was Beto a lot quicker than Trafford was expecting. Trafford was lucky to get away with that. It goes back to James Trafford again as we look at the second half attempts. 8 attempts by Burnley, 2 by Everton. For all the possession that Burnley have had in the second half, though, they've forced a save out of Jordan Pickford. And obviously, as well, Sanderberg's shot that rattled the crossbar. Okay, so we'll go with the player of the match now. The player of the match today, I've decided to give to Amadou Onana for Everton. The reason why I've given it to Amadou Onana is he has a goal, of course, but also his general hard work in the midfield in creating chances for Everton and pretty much controlling that midfield. And he's done work both great defensively and offensively. So today's player of the match, sponsored by the brilliant commentary services, goes to Everton's number 8, Amadou Onana. And it's cleared away. And only now, as far as Redmond just drops the ball back to O'Shea, and he plays the ball out of play. And there is Sean Dyche, obviously very, very happy with today's overall performance. And it's just headed out there by Ben Godfrey to Patterson. Patterson plays it off Tresser. And it's going to be a goal kick as we go into the last minute of normal time at Turf Moor. We're just waiting to see what sort of stoppage time the fourth official, Tom Bramall, is going to add. No word on that yet. The second half has been fairly fluent. I don't expect there to be that much. But the ball is cleared by Jordan Pickford, and he gives the ball to Dwight McNeil. Dwight McNeil just drops it back to Jordan Pickford, who clears the ball downfield. And Aldakiel gets the head up. It's flicked on by Redmond. There is, in fact, going to be 3 minutes stoppage time. And here is Garner. Garner slips the ball through to Beto. Oh, good save by James Trafford. Good slide rule pass by Garner through to Beto there. Beto made the run and he wasn't tracked. And again, James Trafford, for the third time today, has had to bail out the Burnley defence. And that was nearly an additional goal for Everton there. And it's now back with Tarkowski. And Ben Godfrey gives the ball to Michael Keane. As Everton now just coasting at the moment to victory. As they play the ball downfield and flicked on Onana, the player of the match, just getting in the way of that. And here now is Harrison. Harrison under pressure there for Dwight McNeil. And the ball goes out of play. And there's Michael Keane, who again has had a wonderful game himself. Honourable mention for him because he's been a nuisance, just shutting down that Burnley offence in the second half as we played a minute of the 3 minutes given. That's a nice. Well, Zeki Abdouni tried to play the ball through, but a good interception by Onana. And now Everton, and it could be 3-on-3 if they hurry. It's a good ball by Dobbin to Beto. Beto trying to get inside that Burnley penalty area, but good work by Dara O'Shea as he plays the ball to Mike Tressa. And here now is Josh Brownhill. Brownhill back to the German international Jordan Bayer. And comment made here by JB Sports, disgusting, spineless, toothless player. I assume that's supposed to be players, JB Sports. Maybe you can clear that up for us. Clearly not fit to wear the shirt. And here is Mike Tressa. Tressa cuts inside. Is he going to be able to get a shot away? Tressa here. Oh, he does, and it's just clears the crossbar. And but it's too little, too late, really, for Burnley. Mike Tressa gets a shot away, and it clears the crossbar as we are almost at the end here at Turf Moor. We've in that last minute now, the last 3 minutes, you have to wonder beyond that then how much Anthony Taylor will add on outside of that. Not much, I suspect. There really hasn't been much to add on, to be honest. As says Sean Dyche. He'll be taking the points back to Merseyside as that's cleared downfield. Onana now just trying to get the pass there, but Onana is brought down, and it's going to be a free kick to Everton as the time ticking down here at Turf Moor. The Everton fans just in that cricket field stand are on their feet, delighted with this result. And in fact, in the League Cup, Burnley lost 3-0 at Everton as well. So it's not been a good 2 games against them. And that's it. That's full time. And Burnley have gone down 2-0 to Everton today. Goals on 18 minutes from Amadou Onana and 25 from Michael Keane. It was a little bit better in the second half. Jacob Brun-Larsen forcing a save from Jordan Pickford. And, of course, Sanderberg striking a thunderous effort against the bar. That's about as good as it got for Burnley in the whole game, though. And it's full time here at Turf Moor. It's Burnley 0, Everton 2. Back to you, JB.
Disgusting, spineless, toothless, and players clearly not fit to wear any shirts at all. This was a disgusting Burnley performance tonight. Credit to Everton. They played absolutely what they supposed to do. They were highly professional and highly motivated to get 3 points tonight. But there's some Burnley players out there tonight who clearly are not fit to wear any shirts of Burnley's ever again, because it was appalling from the first minute to the absolute last. Sean Dyche getting a good reception, I have to say, from the Burnley fans, and fair play to him. Michael Keane comes back to his club, his old club, and scores a crucial goal, which obviously sends them. And I've just seen a message on the scoreboard: a happy Christmas and a happy New Year from Burnley FC. But is it a happy Christmas? It's going to be a depressing Christmas for anyone who's associated with Burnley Football Club right now, because it's been pathetic, it's been disgusting. And Paul James, if you're still there, what more can what more can you add other than those words? I mean, from minute 1 to minute 93, Burnley were absolutely disgusting.
Well, the performance in the second half I felt improved a little bit, but I mean, it couldn't have gotten any worse from the first half, but it generally an all-round poor performance. They really didn't create enough. Now, you could put some of that down to the defence that Everton has put in front of them. We all know that Sean Dyche always, a strong defence is part of what Sean Dyche creates. But ultimately, the performance was poor in the long run from Burnley. I also think some of the substitutes, to me, were a little strange as well.
That's right, yes.
Delcroix, I think, was one of the better Burnley players. And obviously, anything creative that Burnley were doing came through Jacob Brun-Larsen. And he took both of those players off. So I was a little curious about that. But I think in the long run as well, it was just a very poor performance. And the thing is, JB, I mean, what I would always say to you is whilst I totally echo everything that you say, I do. But my friend, you're going to drive yourself into the ground at this rate. I mean, this team just simply are not good enough. That's the reality of it. They're not good enough.
Of course. But I have to ask you this question. I mean, there's going to be people saying company in or out. Are you a company inner or a company outer?
Well, this depends on the perspective, and this is what I'm looking at. Now, they've always said, Alan Pace has always said, it's a long-term project.
Yeah, we've had that force-fed. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so looking at it from that perspective, you could argue that, no, maybe we shouldn't fire him because maybe they were expecting to go down this year. I mean, we also have to point out as well the fact that Burnley put all their home tickets up for sale at the start of the season. Now, that was every single home game. Now, so were they expecting this to happen at the beginning of the season? Now, I can tell you from an accounting perspective, I'm an accounting student. I'm doing my degree in commerce. I can tell you that Burnley would not have been able to record that as revenue right away because it would go down as a liability on the books. But obviously, they know that that's revenue coming in when the games are played, because that's what has to happen. Before it can be recognised as actual revenue, they have to play the game. So it will be recognised as revenue eventually. But I wonder whether they thought that this was already going to happen during the season.
Well, I've got to be honest. I mean, spending £100 million on Tut hasn't helped. I'll be honest with you. But you don't give Vincent Kompany that sort of money. I think he's wasted a lot of it. I don't know how you feel about it, but the £100 million that's been spent. I mean, could their equipment have been better? I know we're talking about. I know we're not relegated yet, and we're talking as if relegation has happened. But it's week after week. People like you and I get on social media or come on this program, and we talk about a Burnley post-mortem every single week. And I don't know how you feel about it, but it's getting a little bit tiresome now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It must be depressing if you're a season ticket holder at Burnley having to watch this type of performance week in and week out. It's no fun.
It isn't fun. But let's finish obviously with Everton, of course. I mean, they did a fantastic job today. Let's give them their fair dues, Paul. I mean, Sean Dyche does what he does best, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And this is the thing. How can you be... This is the mystery. How can you be fourth bottom at the start of this game? Okay, yes, they've had 10 points deducted, I know. But at fourth bottom at this stage and have the fourth best defence in the league.
I know it's mind blowing. Is the suggestion there? But I mean, Everton are going great. I mean, they've won 4 on the bounce now. I mean, they've actually beaten some very good teams on that run, haven't they? And they haven't conceded. And another good stat, I think you'll find that I don't think they've conceded one single goal in that time. Well, you've got to give credit to Dyche and the boys down there because they do look. I have to say they did look professional tonight, and you could tell. I mean, we could both tell that it was men against boys tonight. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We knew which team wanted it more, and it wasn't Burnley, obviously. But I mean, how far do you think Everton now? I mean, let's forget Everton now. I think they're going to stay up. There's no doubt about that. How far can Everton actually go in their season? How far can they get? And and let's not forget, they're in the last 8 of the Carabao as well, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, look, if you add those 10 points back to Everton, they're in the top 10. Yeah. And that's the thing. You're looking at a very, very good team. This team is very, very good. They are physically strong. They are skillful. They are quick in areas on the field. Onana is an amazing player.
They are. Yeah.
And Burnley, well, they've got no physicality to them.
They haven't.
They've no real pace.
Mm-hmm.
They lack goal scoring, and
Yeah.
defensively, well, it could have been worse today. I mean, I know you've criticised James Trafford on the first goal, but I mean, let's be honest, 3 vital saves. It could have been 5-0 today.
Yeah, but the damage, but then I'll argue about the damage had already been done in the first half. But it's a tough one. Russ has said, and I think he's quite right. I think Burnley are going to go down. Yeah, I don't disagree with you there, Russ. But I mean, it's going to be a miracle now. We're going to. I mean, the pre-promoted teams. I mean, obviously Luton. I don't know what they're going to do with the Luton game this afternoon. I mean, I'm glad to say that Tom Lockyer is very well indeed, folks. I think we should mention that before we go. But well, it's been good. It's been good working with you again, Paul.
Oh, it's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been quite a while. A year almost to the day since that dramatic World Cup final in Dakar as well, and one of the greatest games we've ever covered together, and one we'll never forget. But it's been great to have you with us. Thank you very much for your contributions tonight, Paul. You've been amazing as ever.
Thank you.
Well, that's it, folks. Another. Well, I mean, I don't know what to say about Burnley. Me and Paul have been staunch Corets between us for a combined total of 80 years, and I don't think in any of that time, neither of us have seen a worse start to a Burnley season than this. I mean, another defeat, lackluster, lacked ideas. It was like watching an under-11s match. The way some of the defending there. I mean, it's been poor. I can't. I mean, if I shout any more, Paul might. I mean, Paul's probably right. I'm going to do myself heart failure. But that's what football does to you. It's a drug of ours. That's why we do it on the TC Hub. But Burnley, I have to say, and I mean what I say, disgusting, spineless, toothless, and there's a lot of players, and I'm not going to name names because I haven't time, but there's a lot of players, and they know who they are, who are clearly not fit to wear the shirt. I'm very, I don't want to end on a downer, but that's how I'm feeling tonight. Not just, I mean, I'm a broadcaster first and foremost, but I'm also a Burnley fan as well. But I agree with Russ Vernon, and I never thought I'd say this, but I think we are going down, and it's an absolute shame. The money that's been wasted, stockpiling wingers, then there was no need. The defence, the goalkeeper, that needed doing. Another striker. But I will say one thing. It was good to see Lyle Foster out on the pitch tonight after all his problems. So, well, big kudos to him. But it's been a great night for it's been a great night, though, for Everton. 4 wins out of 4. No goals conceded. Sean Dyche absolutely getting the best out of them and galvanising the team. They'll go on to greater things, I think, during the season. As for Burnley, again, another week of soul searching. And now, where's the next point's going to come from? I don't know. But from all of us here at the TC Hub, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Good night to you all. Good night.